reason, I knew today was going to be a day. For you, for everybody, I could just feel it. I literally, like, just, as you know, being people who are aware, you don't even have to lead. Yeah, I feel that. Did you blow up on somebody? Did you let somebody have it? That's kind of what it feels like. Let's see if I'm astral projecting into your day like I thought. Yeah, Crash Out City. Was it with somebody you knew, somebody you didn't know, or a combination of both? I feel like you're not quick, like you're not like me. Like if you and I were hanging out in the city and like we were, it's funny because I have the transit chart for Saturday in front of us right now, like I did last night. But if you and I were in the city, like I'm the person who would like be like have like the more masculine essence, I feel like, for sure. Now, I mean, listen, like born and raised, like you know how to handle New York, but like just the vibe is like I definitely have that like usurp. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'd have been like, this is not, and for someone to not get along with you, especially when you're new, is like, you know that person's the problem. Like, you're like, that's definitely a you problem. This is not a me problem. So, I don't know. If anyone else has crashed out on their coworkers today and wants to vent about it, let us know. Let us know that Anna's not alone. But listen, it's so funny. I actually had an old boss tell me, and I may or may not have told you this, but yeah, so weird. And I'm like, if it's standoffish and like it's just because like I don't need to fuck with them, like they're in a different department or whatever, like I never have to like coexist with them, really fine. But it's like if we're in close proximity, like why are you making this miserable for, like, no one actually wants to be here, you know? There are moments that we can want to be there, but no one, like, you know, not every day do we want to be here, and I get that, but like you don't have to make everybody miserable in the process. So it's, yeah, I feel for you, but I'm glad that you stuck up for yourself, or, you know, at least in some way, shape, or form, maybe building that. Hi, Chelsea, how are you? Flexing that muscle, for sure. Hi, Samantha, welcome. I'm getting my last 2,000 steps in, and then I'll be sitting down. But if anybody, just to give us our usual kickoff, if you guys wouldn't mind liking, sharing the live, it helps me get recognized in the algorithm as us doing good things here, gets more people connected to our corner of the world. So thank you so much for doing that, my usual crew of supporters and beyond. My name is Brenna. I'm a 1-3 sacral manifesting generator in human design, as well as a Pisces sun, Aquarius rising, Scorpio moon. So if you guys, as you know, if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back, Anna and Chelsea. And if you want to drop your placements or any questions, like we could do an errand share, just like give it to me in the comments below, so that I can help you with anything. And then of course, as usual, if you want 10 minutes of my undivided attention, the link to that is in the bio on my page, but just the housekeeping stuff. So thank you for that. I'm good. I had my mentorship session today. I don't have a human design mentor anymore, but my general spiritual guru, 1-3 Spunic projector, who is 70. She's a beautiful Leo sun, Capricorn rising actually, and Virgo moon, another Virgo moon I attracted, who I've worked with for the last 10 years of my life, not as a mentor, but specifically, but she was the first person that I had worked with when I graduated school as a part of Make Music New York, as you know, that I've done before. A few of you have known about that as part of my manifesting generator lore and some of the many jobs that I had. And it was just like nice, like I had like, just for, as mentors, we should always have other people that hi Squid, that we vent up to, I say, or that we vent, have space, that just hold space for us, that help us work on things. And so it was nice to have that moment of like pouring back into myself on a Jupiter day. Like I always say, I'm not immune to these transits at all. I had somebody that I mentor that messaged me and was like, this happened, I hope you're not mad at me. And I was like, I know that you have a gate 15 and I know what these transits are doing. The last thing I am is mad at you. Unless you totally, lit all your work on fire. I couldn't even be mad at you for that, right? It's just like that, whatever reason that needed to happen today. But yeah, so it was nice to have that. And then I had another mentorship session with one of my mentees who is also a 1-3 projector, and she was feeling the same way as my mentor because we go back and forth with sessions. So my mentor will do one for me, and then I help her with mentorship from a human design lens, not more with like logistics stuff for projectorness. I am. Thank you so much. Thank you. It said that some comments got filtered, so I don't know if there's something else that somebody else had said. Oh yeah. Okay. Wait here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. X-Roomy's running for Congress. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Yeah, we need more informed and educated people in that space, that's for sure. It's interesting, like, the manifestor energy really coming into play. But before I forget to say that, with my 1-3 projectors, a lot of my Aries placements, like any of the cardinal placements, basically everyone in different aspects. The Libra full moon is on Saturday at 8:22 Eastern Standard Time for New York, East Coast, EST. But yeah, I'm seeing everybody is having their own kind of like crash out, but it's crash out with a purpose. It's like crashing out to clear out. I like that pipeline. It's like crashing out, but being like, no, I'm not gonna deal with this right now. So, yeah, it's like righteous indignation is the word that I've been. Hi, Spooky Witchy. It's good to see you. Righteous indignation has been the phraseology that I've been called to share. And I say that often, which is so Pisces of me to say. It's like Jesus getting angry at people, you know, like I fuck with Jesus, you know, like his vibe. It has that Piscean energy, although I think, I forget what time of year that people actually said he was born historically, but it wasn't Sagittarius season. I don't believe, if it was like historically accurate, not just like commercialized Christmas, but don't quote me on that because it's been a while since I had my Jesuit education at Fordham, where I had to do all of my OG religion classes. But yeah, so it's been like, I feel like emotional today, but it's also just like feeling the weight of the world and feeling how, like, I keep saying this to everybody, and, you know, I've said this to you guys before, like, the sensation of being, hi, Orion, a sensation of everyone, and you relate to this too, like, raw nerves right now, and everybody is a little bit sensitive in their own way. Yeah, exactly. I feel like the collective feels like a raw nerve today, 1,000%. I think today, people were all a little bit more sensitive. Yeah, exactly, because we were just talking about that too. It feels like that. It's like, oh, I'm feeling this way, and it's kind of comforting that I'm not alone, but it's also a little concerning because, like, if I'm unstable, where are the people that I can go to that are actually also stable? And so, you know, that's why I always say, like, when I hop on with you guys, I'm like, where am I at, right? Like, I'm going to share where I'm at because that allows me to say, okay, I claim this, right? Like, not that I have to absorb it into my being, but I acknowledge this, I accept this gate 60 to be something that's existing today. Now, all right, I acknowledge it. What's step 2 there? Do I need to sit with it? Do I need to really compartmentalize and be more introverted than extroverted today? And today was one of those days. Like, I'm really good at processing things in real time, and my cycle time has gotten a lot quicker as I've understood more about being a manifesting generator. This is a manifestor's chart in front of us. But yeah, it's interesting, and what I've really enjoyed and what you guys can do too is, and I'll read your comment in a second, Anna, in relation to this, but the chart in front of me is the chart for the full moon in Libra on Saturday. And so whenever you are like, what was happening at this time? If you guys aren't as well versed in studying astrology transits, but you know and get the gist of like reading a human design chart, if you're funky like me and you did human design before astrology and you did the reverse pipeline, which I think a lot of you have done, or at least are, eloquent, I want to say. I'll say that for the sake of the word, knowledgeable enough, but run the transit for that date and time, and it pulls up a chart for if you were to personify the energy of the day, right, what would that person look like? And I think it's a really cool way to kind of like look at in a snapshot, like what is the vibe that I'm getting? What is the energy of the person, place, or thing that I was confronted with at this time. So yeah, super, super helpful for that. I found it to be beneficial. So I know always with the type of person I am and my Piscean nature, it's like, okay, this is of value to me. I know like who in my circle with my people, my collective, so to speak, needs to hear this too, or use that as like a tool. I think a lot of us are very creative, visual people also in our group. So we tend to notice that a lot. But yeah, Moon in Virgo is directly opposing all the placements in the last degrees of Pisces. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Venus, Saturn, Mercury, North Node. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to. Thank you. Yes, before you came in, I was venting to Brenna. Yeah. I'm like, where can we just hold the sacred container of like having a moment? Hi, Charlotte. How are you? Oh, I love that. It's nice to see you again. A nice fresh start. Oh my gosh. I know. I feel so many people from the what had happened in this corner of the world in January. So many people got locked out of their accounts. So it's like I had to go through my following to make sure I unfollowed somebody's old account that I couldn't get into and then followed the new one. So for my mutuals or people like that too. I'm good. We were saying how sensitive the collective felt today and how the phrase that I've been channeling is that everyone kind of is walking around like raw nerves right now. Especially in the U.S., right? I can't remember. You're not in the U.S. because you're abroad. We were talking about this and then moving over there, jogging my memory. Yeah, Spain has come up quite a few times, which is actually really interesting in the not so distant past for me personally and professionally. Yeah, I get that. That's good, and it's good to acknowledge that. Oh, 444! I love that. My best friend texted me and asked me, what are the planets doing? My sister's in a mood. Norway, yes. Okay, yes, that's right. That was the first place I visited at Epcot at Disney World, was Norway. It was one of my favorites, actually. One day to go there. My ninth house stellium in Placidus would love to travel. And to there. I love to travel all the time, but especially Norway, too. Yeah, literally. I'm like, what isn't making people, like, the transits have got everyone somewhere, right? Like, someone is getting into something at some point, right? Whether it's just like feeling sadness or extreme happiness and sadness because they're happy. Like it's this kind of like all over the place kind of vibe. I should say too, which is really fun, as a fun side note, is I have a dual monitor set up now too. So I have a monitor over to the side that I won't have to pivot, but I can pivot to my beautiful candle because, hi Caroline, because you've done that multiple times before on my left-hand side, but I can see the notifications for a new guy's book there. Oh, and also housekeeping. So for all my TikTok lives now, when I do readings, I'm going to download the recording and then upload them to YouTube. So you guys can, if you buy a reading from me or purchase a reading from me, you can watch it back on my YouTube channel, which is the same handle. It's all linked at the top of my page. So that way there's a place for it to go and to be preserved forever in the internet. Preston's got to the point where she asks how I feel each day to gauge the day's energy. Yeah, you're like, be my human litmus test. Oh, yes, I'm finally done with my Neptune squaring my natal Mars. Oh my gosh, yeah. I love that. Hi, words and thoughts. Galactic Center, I love that. Yeah, Mars in Sagittarius at 27 degrees. Oh, wow. What degree, for 27 degrees, what planetary association does that have with 27 degrees? I know one of you or multiple of you would know that. I want to make like flashcards. And what vein of astrology teaches degree theory specifically? Do we know that off the top of our head? Is that like Hellenistic astrology teaches? Oh, Gemini. Okay, interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, thank you. Hellenistic astrology is where we get perfection years. Oh, Sabian symbols. Okay, that's funny. It's the second time that's come up, actually. I'm going to write that down. It'll give me some good research to do for tomorrow. For Anna and Gabe who are here, have you guys integrated today? Were you thinking about, thank you so much, degree theory? Yeah, I know Pam Gregory, who I really love, talks about Sabian symbols. She's a YouTube double Pisces astrologer. I mean, she's not just on YouTube, but that's how I found her. Yeah. I know because my kids are, it's good degree. Okay, I love that. Okay, 27 degrees of Gemini. Yeah. And is that the correlation between decans as well? I mean, I know that there is, but is that like... No, because it doesn't go in order, actually. I'm answering my own question in real time. I'm trying to parse out the schools of thought in my 1-3-ness of being like, okay, where do we get each vein of something, right? Yeah, that's, yeah, because it's doesn't go directly, like 8 degrees is Scorpio, I believe, and then 9 degrees is something else. It's not like Scorpio and then 9 degrees is Libra. I don't think it necessarily goes like through like that. Yeah, that trans is not a given for everyone. Yeah, let me mentally process that, because I know Venus also goes direct on the 13th, which is really interesting in connection. Yeah, Neptune squaring your natal Mars. So yeah, Aries or Pisces, Neptune and Pisces squaring your natal Mars, because your Mars is in Sagittarius. So when something is squaring it, it's of the same modality or quality. Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, like not really. And that makes sense. Like I could feel that in your energy or aura, like unsure of how to progress with plans, although you need that, like you need that sense of like change, variety, traveling, the cliches of Sagittarius, but like I need to be like mentally stimulated or need to go to a new place. Like what's happening. So it's interesting that you say that. Yeah, I love that. I feel that. I feel like now's your time to be seen. Pluto and Aquarius conjunct your natal sun Aqua, and happy belated birthday. That's a great time. Like the next 19 years is like, okay, time to shine. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I tried to integrate and the day threw me for a loop. I was mostly feeling and regulating. That's fair. And it's interesting because if we think about 8th house, right, and how your Jupiter, your chart ruler is in the 8th, right, because now I have your chart memorized because I use this as our example. And Thursdays are Jupiter day. It's interesting. 8th house is like what people are keeping secret, but we have like this sort of illumination or this highlighted aspect of like how you're showing up in relation to the other, like picking up what other people are putting down. Yeah, and Chiron. Hi, Chris. How are you? Welcome. Yeah, we're talking about the transits and how people were crashing out. So, did you crash out today? Do you need a safe space to vent about crashing out? It's my crash out and I need it now. Hi, Plant. How are you? It's nice to connect with you 2 times in one day. Welcome. Yes, I do remember whenever I see my projectors in the ether and I'm responding in comments. There's a couple projectors here right now. I have that photographic Scorpio moon memory. Welcome to our crew. Yeah, the Neptune energy created a fog. Hi, Maple. Over my spark because I was supposed to relax first. Yeah, I love Maple Haze. It sounds like a strain, but also a beautiful name at the same time. Can be both, right? Yeah, crying and overstimulated. Virgo moon the last couple days is our beautiful Anna, resident official astrologer, here as well. Isolated in my room to keep from crashing. No, I feel that. It's like yes, no, you're right. March 2nd. I can't believe it was already a month ago. It's funny. Oh, thank you. Yes. I've been going back. So I started posting incarnation cross videos. Like it's been a minute. Like you can see the transition in my filming quality and my ending my nodal opposition and going through my Saturn return. And it's funny to see like all the old stuff in the playlist. But yeah, it's great. And especially if like you just wanting to know other people's incarnation crosses are always going to have a special place in my heart, and they're one of my favorites. I want to do a longer YouTube series about them, so that's coming down the pipeline to go like more in depth and kind of like have the breathing room to talk about and strategize some more. So yeah, but thank you so much. Yeah, the bathroom. Yeah, shutting myself down for little supernovas. I love that. Yeah, the Neptune energy created a fog over my spark. Yeah, been holding me down for almost 3 years. Yeah, and it's interesting because I guess then will everyone go through, I have to look at that from a transit perspective. I have to think about that with the visuals in front of me, but if everyone goes through an aspect where Neptune is squaring their Mars, but not necessarily, because it depends. But yeah, that's the solitude, moving to a different city. Yeah, 1,000%. And like, I love it until I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm an omnivert, like an extroverted introvert. And like the reason I can be on at times like this is when I've allowed myself to have like a lot of alone time, especially as a 1-3 profile. Like I can't, and my Aquarius, I have Aquarius rising with my Mars and Mercury on my ascendant. So there you go. Oh yeah, just started my deep dive. Oh, I love that. Listen, I have a special place in my heart for projectors. I really do. So I like to, there's a lot of resources to you, probably arguably more than any other energy type on my page at this point. All my non-sacrals, projectors, manifestors, reflectors. But I love that. Congratulations, Charlotte. Manifesting your dream apartment really cheap. I love that. That's like, I'm so open to it. Here, I'm ready. I love that. Yeah, I'm sorry again, Chris, for your crash out. I feel like Virgo moon days have an element of triggering that for people, or that extra kind of level of planetary exhaustion. that adds it some time. And Neptune in Aries, I mean, it's going to be really interesting on a global scale. So the last time Neptune was in Aries, because in Aries, Neptune transit lasts every 14 years on average. So it has to 14 years to work its way through each sign before it goes back to its sign, of origin. So Neptune in Aries, the last time Neptune was in Aries was when we had the Civil War. So acknowledging slavery, right? And how we're dealing with a lot of noticing, as like Squid said, for their friend going into a position in Congress or applying, so to speak, is like we really we're feeling very hypersensitive to injustice in the world, both injustice to ourselves, but also injustice to other people. And it's interesting because when you get really granular with the transits, especially from a human design perspective, and then come back out again, you can see how, I can see how that's also referenced in Pluto and Aquarius for the next 19 and some odd months, 19 years and some odd months, moving forward. So yeah, it's interesting to see how that's playing out. And for all of us, right? Like for whatever our placements are, a lot of my Aries placements are feeling it like, okay, Neptune was, a lot of people say like Neptune being cozy in Pisces. Yeah, but also like not really. Like Charlotte, you would argue the opposite of that. Because of what it was doing in your chart. And I feel like Neptune in Aries, it can be like fire squashing water, right? Fire elements and water elements kind of coming together. But I feel like Pisces already is so Neptunian, so to speak, so watery that it doesn't actually need more. So that struggle was real, I think out of all the transits right now, the one that I have found the most annoying because it's in my 6th house is Mars in Cancer. So it's like 6th house is like our daily routines, like working out, our body and organization and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I don't need it to be in a water sign. Like Mars, it's nice there, but it's like that Cancer Mars, like, yeah. It's like the opposite. Cancer is like the opposite of Mars when it wants to be. And then it's like a false sense of like starting and stopping is how I've seen it in most people. But it's like acknowledging it. We know it. Okay, I know this is going to be the feeling. So what am I going to do to navigate around it is like the best piece of advice that I've integrated that I can pass on to you guys too. But we're coming, towards the end. Hi, Sarah. I was thinking of you. How are you? Yeah, Mars cannot leave Cancer soon enough. I know. I think everybody feels that. It's just like, it's like that plankton. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. Me dating myself as a millennial. But I feel that. It's for sure. I definitely feel that. But yeah. We'll see how that how that plays out. I think I'm almost done with my steppies too. Nope, 1,000 more to go. Spoke too soon. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're so sweet. Yes, that's okay. Listen, you know where to find me. I'm never far. I'm only a few days away. YouTube. So for some housekeeping, Sarah, thank you. Thank you for the heart. I post the recordings of TikTok lives onto YouTube now, literally as of like last week. So you didn't miss much besides one. So anytime any of you get a reading with me, it's going to be posted there. I also I just realized that I didn't update my pricing from $12. They're still $4.40. So if you guys want to snag one, I left it like that. I'll just keep it like that for the next hour or so that I'm on. And it'll be 440 again. So that wasn't intentional, but I just realized that, and I'm like, I'm feeling generous today. So if anyone wants that, it's 10 minutes for $4.40 in the spirit of continuity, right? For the one that you missed on 4/4 also. Thank you so much. And then, of course, if you guys, you're not obligated to, you're still able to ask me questions and chat in the group. So I'm so glad it helped me put, me in solitude before moving to the U.S. Yeah, I needed to let go of the old. Yeah. In the U.S., moving to the U.S. or moving cross continents also will definitely do that. And I think like being aware of like that isolation feeling, is also something to take note of. So it's so funny, like with my placements, like, and again, as a social introvert, I loved being in like a high up, not super high, not like a crazy, like super high rise apartment, but maybe if there was like 20 floors, right? Like being on like the 10th floor, even the 20th floor, but penthouse, why not? Dream big. The 19th floor, thinking of some hotels that I've been to, and like being able to see and decide. Hi, Megan. Thank you for sharing the live. Good to see you. Happy Thursday. When I could go and be around people, and that like I could people watch, decide when I wanted to engage, getting a sense of the day. I had some really great apartment style dorm rooms in college too, that gave me a nice bougie perspective of that. I actually was a transfer student, and I did community college before. So this is a funny story. And there was I transferred to Fordham in New York, for those of you who are familiar. And long story short, when you're a transfer student, you usually get put in off-campus housing. And I was like, well, I'm only here for 2 years. Like, I really want to live on campus. And my dad worked in New York City at the time. And he was like, really, like, I don't want you here to live like necessarily off campus because like, but we'll see. We'll do our best. We'll advocate the best we can. And so there was an option to apply on the top floor for this like healthy living floor, which basically means that you like write a 5-paragraph essay. It's like why you want to live in the healthy living floor. It's for people who are vegan or like definitely aren't going to be drinking, like that kind of stuff. And so I applied and ended up getting, there was nobody that needed it that year, but a corner dorm room with a view of Manhattan that was for a handicap, like a wheelchair accessible room. And I only shared a single bathroom with one other person on the other side. So it was like a really good luck manifestation year. I have to think about the transits that happen when you're 20, but it was 19 going on 20. I can't think off the top of my head. I know there's something around nodal activity, I believe, at that time. But yeah, so thinking about those things, that just when you said that, Charlotte, that's what it reminded me of. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you do already. And the immersion helps too. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and listen, there's more people. I know that the media is going to make you feel otherwise, but is there anyone that's not, besides Charlotte, anyone that's not in the U.S. here? Because we do exist. We're also here in the U.S. You're welcome. It's my favorite emoji is a sparkle emoji. But yeah, and again, if you guys have any questions or anything that you want me to process for you, hi Dana, welcome. Or share or answer, please feel free, because I always say I'm here to talk with you, not at you. So I just wanted to open the floor to that again. Obviously, I can be a certified yapper, and words are not a problem for me, but I like to help you process that too. Or just give the open invitation, if you will. The wand is a good one too, because it incorporates both sides. The sparkles and the magic. Oh, thank you. I love my video on perfection years. Thank you so much. That was in Patreon, for those of you who don't know. That was a lot of fun. I want to make more videos like that for you guys in Patreon. That's on my priority list for the rest of this month. And for protection and perfection, I think both apply. But I'm just looking at my calendar for the rest of the month, which is literally here before we know it. And May and moving forward. I had a couple videos about for Megan and Anna and Gabe. Each of you are in a different group, which is fun because we get diversity. What are some things that you guys want to know more so about your design? Yeah, I need to make drafts upload at different times. Exactly. That's so helpful. It's better. But I was going to do videos on strategy next, like deep diving into your strategy. and make a video for each of you. So that could be an option if you can't think of anything right now off the top of your head that's a burning question, know that that's what I had on the horizon for you guys. And maybe a YouTube crossover at that too, but I did something else for YouTube that I'm excited about that Nini had asked for. So yeah, all the things. Yes, I know, of course. Of course. But if there's anything like a burning question on your heart or something that you want me to elaborate on that you could reference again and again, that's out in the ether. Yeah, that's funny. So Anna, you're remote viewing, and Charlotte, I'll answer that in a second. I am doing that for YouTube. So I actually, the video that's going out this weekend is all about gate 1 in the 1st through 6th line. So we have that, but I'll start, do you want me to start or do gate 27 next? Because I don't have to go in order. I feel like that's the one that you've been being called to regardless, because you're moon gate. Yeah, okay, I'll do 27 next. That'll be fun. And it'll be nice because it's right in time for Taurus season. I'll also say, even if you don't have a gate in human design, you still feel every gate is ruled by a zodiac placement. So gate 27 is a Taurus gate placement. Anna is a Taurus moon. We're going to feel activated by gate 27 during Taurus season. So it's going to activate Taurus in our chart. So thinking about that too. Let me pin this comment for Charlotte. How do people with Mars in Cancer react now regarding their transit? They're like, yeah, now you know how it fucking feels to be me. Don't you all? Well, you all know the struggle. That's how natal Cancer Mars people are reacting, and they're kind of like, yeah, I'm used to it, right? Like, this is the shit I always deal with. I always kind of have like one foot on the gas, one foot on the brakes. My actions are very crab-like. I feel like being out, then I feel you say something or come at me the wrong way, then I'm retreating, right? If I don't like the tone of voice, whether or not you meant it, I'm retreating, right? That's very Cancer placements in general, but we see that with Cancer Mars. It's like Mars is based on action. So anyone who has Cancer in Mars, naturally, I actually have a mentee of mine right now that has Mars in Cancer natally. Oh, there you go. Yes. Do you see that in him, Megan? Like, he's like very sensitive to that because all it's water. I mean, listen, I can say that because I'm a Pisces and I have a Scorpio moon. I have a lot of water and stelliums in both planets. So I know the feeling. We're not alone. Yes. That. Yeah. So paying attention to that for sure. And Megan says, I think with Neptune moving into Aries, like how that would affect us. Okay. So Neptune and Aries. Just writing this down. Okay. So this is Patreon. Okay. Outline is the word I wanted to say. Okay, I have that. Thank you. Yeah, let's see. Oh, yay, Sarah. Okay, cool. Yeah, it'll pop up. There we go. I see it. Perfect. What time is it? I don't even know. Oh, perfect. So we have a little bit of time. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and all the major transits happening. Okay, so outline and then major transits. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that'll help me to help you guys better. Oh, gate 22.1 unconscious moon and 10.6. Okay, so then gate 22 and gate 10. A lot of people I know have gate 10 because I get a lot of right angle cross to the vessel of love people. So yes, an HD reference, of course. Yeah, he says he's not a people person, yet he's out like the town mayor when he goes out. Yeah, 1,000%. It's like I would say they don't enjoy people, but they know how to handle people. So it's interesting. Yeah, my best friend's chart ruler is Mars in Cancer. Yes. Yes. And also Aquamoon. I struggle to understand her. Yeah, I think she struggles to understand her as well. So you can't understand somebody who can't understand themselves. That's also very true. Let's see. Oh, I'm 200 steps away, so I'll be done with my steps and can sit once once we start Sarah's reading. So I'll bring up your chart, Sarah, once I finish my 200 steps. Yeah, I'd say Cancer rising is almost like Leo rising and charming people without trying. Yeah, for sure. Because you're both luminaries, right? So it's like you both are aware of it. And then, yeah, Leo sun. Yeah, Leo sun, Aqua moon. I want you to see me, but I don't want you to know me. I'm going to go for the jugular as an Aries. Yeah, like it's like conflicting. It's like Jekyll and Hyde a little bit too, I would assume. And Aries rising's like they're feeling it right now with all the Aries activation, even the Pisces activation, because that is their 12th house. I also feel like Aries risings a lot. Like I find Aries risings actually more than Scorpio placements to be the people that think that they have like secret ops, like everyone's out to get them, or like, and I think that's because they're able to be more confrontational, like, or they have that like, sometimes like childlike innocence. Like I say, anywhere we have Aries is like where we're learning to like get our legs. It's like a little bit of immaturity in that area because it's new. It's like a new feature we've unlocked. Yeah, I just have my Lilith in Aries actually, which I can resonate with in gate 42. So that's been interesting, but I like working at that placement. Black Moon Lilith is fun. It's actually, I have it on my chart generator here. Lilith being in gate 50 Scorpio right now. But yeah, it's our third house, Megan, is Aquarius rising. So communication, learning how to speaking fast, right? So we see that. As an Aqua Sun and 100% placement and 100 placements in Cap, isn't that emotional, you know? So I always say I support her. Yeah, 1,000%. And I think like her moon at the end of the day, definitely, yeah, that's key. Let me see. Let's try to go. Huh? Yes, nodal return. I see that. Let's see if it'll do that. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, not being here to babysit her triggers is so fair. Because, like, what they have to know, too, with her placements, with Leo placements and Cancer placements, sorry, Gabe, but, like, that everyone else is feeling the same thing, but different people just have a different way to handle them. I see, like, a lot of Aries placements, a lot of Cancer placements, Leo placements, too. Hi, Twanaki. I don't know yet. Because I won't be doing it at night. It'll be like the afternoon if I go on. But Cancer placements, Aries placements, it's like other people have emotions too. So it's like to remember that like, no, people just handle them differently. And again, just because they wear it well doesn't mean that it isn't heavy. And so people process things in different ways. So it's like that frustration where you're like, okay, I haven't been, Anna, thank you. No one gets me, but it's like, well, you haven't left us room to be able to get you or to also express that we feel the same way. So it's like sucking, like luminaries can suck the air out of a room. Leo risings, Leo moons when their emotional needs aren't met, right? Like it's really suffocating for other people. And then you realize that you push people away because you feel like people aren't going to get you, but really you push people away because you're not making space to get them, which thus creates isolation. So it's like, again, I see a lot of that with water signs in general, but fire signs too. And the fire signs of water signs like Scorpio, right? Speaking from personal experience, it's like like having to watch out for self-fulfilling prophecies for sure. I'm just going to move my walking pad and take you guys in an elevator ride down. But yeah, the disorganization of Leos, especially depending on when in Leo season she was born, is actually very real. Some of the most disorganized people I know actually are Leos and need the most help. They're like nutty professors in the best way. Sometimes the worst way, to be fair. Yeah, me. I'm the Leo sun. I can see you from the angle. You're like, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Listen, I love a good Leo, right? But like, I definitely see that for sure. Like, it's like you can I mean, I dated a Leo sun with a Cancer Venus, and like it was like, hi Mo, my problems are everyone else's problems, and nobody knows how hard I have it. And I was like, no, we know, but like you're not the only one that has this problem, you know. Not necessarily that I'm saying for the person that I knew more personally. I was just like, bro, like I'm tired. Like it was just like, let's walk. No, I don't want to walk. I'm like, really? Are you dead ass? My fuse can be short, that's for sure. For like whiny shit, I'm like, I'm not your mom, you know, which Cancer Venus is, especially in men for me. I was like, oh boy. Yeah, such sun, mouth, and foot syndrome. Yeah, if I see Aries been controlling my emotions, it took me a while to mature. Yes, and that like, it's part of the process, right? Not self, you know, I'm big on like, oh yeah, Mo, I know. Self-flagellation, right? We were talking about that yesterday on YouTube. There you go. It's a little bit more aesthetic. And Sarah, are you good to start like 5 minutes early? And then I have Anna. I was saying I accidentally left my readings at 4 from the other day, $4.40. So if anyone wants to snag one, feel free. Oh, that's Jade. That's my full one. Hold on. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you. Hi, Delaney. How are you? Delaney and I, she's so gorgeous. We met in person, like at a flea market, and I bought clothes from her and her mom. That's so funny. So in real life people meeting my online people. Oh, 6'2". Yes, this is beautiful Sarah. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to pivot over to giving Sarah 10 minutes of my undivided attention. So, I love this. Okay, so Sarah's question, as Sarah knows, but the rest of you don't. So I'm still slowly learning human design. Can you help me better understand my sun design versus personality and variables? Yes. So, okay, so when we zoom up here, and what's interesting about this is that your two placements, let me do this, on the right-hand side. So this sun, right, your personality sun, because this is the personality column, so your sun sign on your personality side, your grounding earth placement, your personality earth, your design sun, and your design earth are all 4 aspects that connect and make your incarnation cross in human design. Let me do this. 26, 45, 6, 36. 26, 45, 636. There we go. So what's interesting about this is that, and this is good refresher for everyone, I'll move myself to the middle here so we can kind of see both. And then the variables, that's what these are known as, arrows, colors, and tones. Don't be too stressed out about those vocabulary words, but just so you guys know what they are in case you come across them in your own studies or we ever talk about them again. Thank you guys for liking the live. There's a couple other vocab words with human design. So what's interesting about the design sun versus personality sun is that anything that is from your personality side, sun sign, is a trait that we inherited from mom. So it's funny. I was thinking of your mom spooky witchy as you popped in. And then when it comes to dad, right? Dad's influence, hi T, anything that is on the left-hand side. So the things that we maybe like or have frustrations with when it comes to the things we inherited from our dad, right? I say my dad because I was thinking about, I have a gate 5 design sun. And it's funny because Sarah, you're right after with gate 6. Gate 6 is a Virgo gate placement. So it's known as the gate of friction. It's also the gate of the pH in the body. So being really sensitive to what you drink, energetically, literally who and what enters your body, right? Maybe TMI, but you know, if you're between the lines. Yeah, I actually did, maybe it was just for my projectors. I'll talk about it in Patreon as well. Or no, for generators, I was talking about that. I think it was last month's teaching. Meg, if you look back, if you haven't watched last month's, I think that's when I talked about it in Patreon. But that's what's known as neutrinos as well. So when we're looking at the numbers of the left-hand side and the right-hand side, those single or double digits, so like 6, ignore the decimal placement for now, 26 being your Sagittarius personality sun. I'll zoom up here so it's a little easier. Sagittarius, oh, can you do that? Yeah, that looks a little nicer. Okay, there we go. Give myself some breathing room for you guys too. Gate 26 is one of the 64 gate placements that falls in Sagittarius season, because as we know, most of us know, but all of us, that beautiful Sarah here is a Sag sun. So anytime I see 26 in anyone's profile, I know that they have the, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. I know that they have a Sagittarius placement, right? Gate 26, I'll actually read it to you from the Definitive Book of Human Design, and then we'll talk about it together. It's like it sits in your ego motivation center, right? So the version of, it makes sense we were talking about you being a Zumba instructor in the PDF I made for you. Gate 26 has a lot to do with you having an inherent sense of like internal motivation. You know what you're here to do. At the end of the day, you may, your end goal is pretty set, but nobody's going to, somebody might throw wrenches in your path. The path may get a little cloudy. Be firm on the goal, but flexible about the roads that take you there. I say that often. So gate 26, gate of the egoist, right in the heart center. Gate 26 is where memory is manipulated, or where the past is selectively remembered in order to persuade or distract us from our fears. And this is a marketing line also, or gate. The line between truth and lie blurs, and potential and possibility are transformed into reality and sold to the public for a price. You're a natural salesperson who is actually expected to exaggerate, which is very Sagittarius. It's like, nothing bad can happen during Christmas time. I'm Holly Jolly Santa or Mrs. Claus. Like, we feel good. We're all about excitement. Like, we don't want any problems. Like, it's very much like, allowing us to remember like how to be involved in enjoying our childlike, optimism. Thank you. Childlike innocence as well. I think of it as kind of like, if I were to give a astrology house to gate 26, it would actually be, I know. It would actually be the 5th house. Like, you're indulging in your hobbies, the things that you want to do. It's why being a fitness instructor is literally such a perfect job for you, because you're like, all right, people, let's go. I know you feel like shit and you got yelled at by your boss today, but like, I don't give a fuck. Do the Zumba move. Like, it's like that, in your way. And spooky witchy, it's funny because I'm literally I have this defined too, and I'm doing a body doubling session. I'll do another one at some point, probably on YouTube. If you guys don't follow me over there, you should. But for Patreon, to pour out for my overflow, because I help keep people accountable. DeAnna was the one who prompted this idea for me to do it again. We pour out from our overflow. So yeah, there you go. Yes, design versus personality, 1,000%, 1,000%. Also, I want to read this part to you. If you are recognized for your skills and given a job where you can set your own schedule and are sufficiently rewarded materially and can maintain a healthy balance between rest and work, you are eager to be on the front lines for your community and have the ego, motivation, willpower to do it. Waiting to be recognized and only making promises you can keep. This is a really big part of your sun sign, like making promises that you can keep. And Gabe, this is like a dual reading for you too, because you have this placement as well. Allows you to maintain your influence with others. Maintaining the integrity of your persuasive powers and keeping the promises you make actually strengthen your ego and your physical heart's health. When you don't have gate 44, so this means that your personality sun, yes, is a hanging gate. You're more activated, or your sun gate is more obvious when you have somebody that has gate 44. Now, what's interesting is that you have gate 26, then I have the full channel. It creates what's called a dominance channel. Yeah, I try so to write things down so I won't forget, 1,000%. It's like I tried so hard, I tried so hard and go so far. In the end, it doesn't even matter. It's like that, yeah. You know the song I'm talking about. I forget off the top of my head what the name of it is. But yeah, without gate 44, it can be difficult to know how, when, and what to Lincoln Park, thank you, effectively transmit. So like what to share, when am I going to share it? How do I have an outlet? I need to rush. Oh, D, I love that. Like I need an outlet, right? I need an outlet for that. So that is what you're more aware of in your personality. Anything on your personality side, you're going to be generally more aware of as a trait that you're like, yeah, I fuck with my high social. I understand my natal chart. Like, I fuck with it. I understand that that's a part of who I am, right? Now, what's interesting, and what I was talking about a lot in Patreon when I was talking about incarnation crosses, is that if we take your sun sign, right? So the energy of your sun sign, your gate 26, and we bring it down to gate 45. Gate 45 is how you ground the energy of your sun sign. And this is one of the reasons why I like talking about incarnation crosses so much, because it says, here's who I am, here's how I concretize it, here's how I bring it into form. Gate 45 is a Gemini gate placement. And where does it sit? Because this is where we want to know, right? It's in the throat. So that tells me that even though you have the generator sacral definition, right? We have that. You're somebody, I know you're a man, Jen, but like having that right, oh wait, here, I missed my, there we go. It's important for you to use more of the manifesting aspects of it to concretize and bring things down. Thank you. My 1-3 teacherly aspects of me, so thank you. But this is how we ground it. Communication, directing other people, hello fitness instructor, right? Guiding people, being a role model. Do not become people's legs in their relationship. Unless you want to help elderly people who are struggling with mobility, with weights in the pool as a fitness instructor. Yes, this is helpful for you too then, Mel. You don't want to literally be, splitting yourself into multiple different people's bodies trying to be them, right? So it's important. It's through my words, right? Doubling up on the words there, that I influence other people, not my actions. And that means that sometimes it can be a do as I say, not as I do. I think often it is for this incarnation cross and those two placements, because you have the wisdom to see how you can sell something that you believe in, that you're passionate about, right? That's really important too. You have to believe in what you're selling in order to market it effectively and for it to also not wreak havoc on your nervous system. To not leave too much out when it comes to the design side, what you're learning to personify in this lifetime is gate 6, right? Virgo gate placement, gate of friction. This sits in the emotional center. Getting emotionally in control a little bit more, right? Focusing on that. Hi, Leslie. Knowing when you feel friction, is it worth it for me to argue? I have this second line here. Maybe I need to pull back and hermit a little bit more. How do I ground when I know I'm being useful with my gate of friction? It's by grounding and taking action in crisis situations that I know I am equipped to handle. Okay, so this is a Pisces, a Virgo gate 6 and a Pisces gate placement. So when I ground and knowing that, okay, it's like the people who are anxious and we're like, I've been anxious my whole life for this very moment. It's my time to shine because shit went down and I planned for this to happen all the time, right? It's kind of like that, right? I would I say that in jest, but it's also validating, I find. I'm just plugging in my phone, so sorry for the motion sickness for a second. But also really taking note. We've had some Pisces transits that have activated this for you. So it's like, I know that you think that this is a crisis, but I am, oh, there you go. Me too, Leslie. When's your birthday? I am somebody that, I'm a human design reader, right? I am not a psychologist with a PhD. Even though people come to me with a lot of PhD level. Hi, Michaela. You're giving me a identity crisis for you. I only recognize the picture. Sorry, I just had to say that. Oh, 317. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm March 2nd. You're a gate 22 personality sun, I believe. But yeah, so I digress. Sorry, Sarah. Thank you for entertaining that for a second. But yeah. And I say, I help coworkers throughout my careers. My energy, it really does amplify. Yeah, grounding to help. And I think, is that a crisis in career that you feel energetically aligned to solve? The gate 2 is also an indicator of like, okay, I need to retreat, right? I've done this crisis. I've kind of fought this battle. Now I need some wind down. To build in buffer time, to build in wind down time is also really important for you. We didn't fully get to the variables just because they play into your incarnation cross slightly. The quick thing that I'll tell you, and maybe we can do this in a future reading also, or if you want to book again after Anna, I just want to pivot to Anna. Thank you, Michaela. Is that 50% of the time you're going to want to plan, and the other 50% of the time you're like, fuck this plan. I need to just have fun again and like not stress out about whatever I'm doing. Like, no, right? I'm not doing all this. I'm like, I had a plan, and you know what? I want to go on my excitement more, listen to my sacral. The plan goes out the window, right? And we see how that plays into it. But I think, the plan can go out the window when you want to solve a crisis because you thought you were going to solve another crisis, but actually the crisis that grounds you, that you want to solve, is actually something that was more aligned. The pivot, exactly. The MG buzzword, right? It's like that old Staples button on the pivot. What the hell did that button say? I don't remember. It's like if we could make it say pivot for MGs, that's what we would do. So, Leslie, I love that. So you probably feel a little bit more energized right now in theory. I'm just doing paid readings right now. Yeah, easy. Thank you. That was easy. Thank you. I was like bringing back to my millennial commercials. I was thinking that like, remember we used to be so annoyed with commercials, and now we're not even, we're like, I wish I could remember commercials. But thank you, Sarah, for letting me read for you. And I'm going to pivot over to Anna in just a minute now. So Leslie, the quick reflector, I have a whole playlist for reflectors, by the way. I have like 5 or 6 videos on the top of my profile. I love that. There you go. I was thinking of your dad, Michaela, when you popped in. So that's funny, actually. As a reflector, you usually have more energy with the full moon and less energy with the new moon. And every day, why you're supposed to wait a lunar cycle is because you have temporary definition of the transits that are grabbing on to what's called your hanging gates, or all those little outstretched arms that look like this all over your body graph. They're making you a different person every day, or going through a different persona every day. So that's why you make, ideally, only 12 major decisions a year. And sometimes it takes a little longer, but I find a lot of reflectors too. Yeah, so I love you guys. I'm just, we can improve. I don't know why I didn't do that, but yeah. So to pivot over to our beautiful Anna here, again, I left my readings at $4.40 for 10 minutes. So if you guys love what you're hearing, want me to pour into you, the link to that is in my bio. Hi, yo. But to pour into beautiful Anna. So in honor of aligning with my Jupiter in the 8th, I want to learn and dive in and learn more about my unconscious design side and how I can best integrate it. Okay, I love that. So specifically, with your design side, you want to talk about your Jupiter placement here. Hi, yo. The 12.2, right, versus the 39. So gate 12 is actually... Does it share Cancer? I actually don't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it's solely Gemini. Yeah, it's solely Gemini on your design side. So it's not Cancerian, but Jupiterian? I don't know. That's a word I just made up. Jupiterian? I don't even know what the correct word would be of that. I think I'm just making shit up now, which would be very accurate for my Mercury retrograde. But all that to say, to digress, Jupiter in gate 12 in the 5th line. So, hey, B. Jupiterian. Yeah, fuck it. I'm not going to get that one. We'll pause. We'll be here all night. So gate 12, right? Gate of caution sits in the throat center. My abundance, how I expand or contract, right? Expand and contract is based on my words, right? What's also not to be remiss here, Jupiterian, thank you. So much prettier than I said it, right? Thank you. Yeah, I'm like, what did I just say? The 5th line is the heretic. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn king, right? We all know, if you were raised in heavy Catholicism around Christmas time, you know that, right? So I always find it helpful because the herald is the angels, the clarion, which is also another vocab word in human design, is that long trumpet. I have a couple Libras that actually have right angle cross of the clarion. I think you as well, Anna, that actually have that incarnation cross. Or maybe it's not actually. Oh, no, because you're right angle cross of the Maya. Left angles are the clarion. So gate of caution, right? Your abundance or how you're working with this placement from, I'm trying to scroll the screen with my phone. how you exercise feeling expanded and in control when it comes to other people's energies, other people's money, is knowing that there's a time to speak and a time to be quiet, a time to stick up for yourself and a time to sit back. But knowing and feeling comfortable with the fact that when you speak up, of course, other people aren't going to like it if they just want to be bitchy and mad and miserable, because that is literally, as a gate 5 person with this placement, you feel the judgments of other people. But of course, when you set a boundary, that doesn't, you setting a boundary doesn't benefit other people who want to take advantage of you not having that boundary in the first place, right? That's what that placement is about. So paying attention to that, especially now, story for like so important. What did I also want to say in relation to that? Oh, let me read to you from this one section about, because you don't have any exaltations or detriments or juxtapositions there. So the success of restraint lies in not abandoning the lessons learned when the phase ends. So I'll read that again. The success of restraining myself, happens when we don't forget the lessons we learned after that experience happened, right? I'm really good at decoding Ra-Uruhu's voice. So I like that. When you stood up for yourself, when it was something that was probably, I shouldn't say probably, when I know that it was something that was uncomfortable for you and outside your comfort zone, I think to me, it sounds like this is the first year that you're actually integrating this, right? I am not going to forget how this made me feel. There's data that happened here. Something that's also been a repeated theme that I also noticed that isn't exactly, we found each other this year, so that kind of tracks with Mercury and Mars on my ascendant and being confrontational and, not giving a fuck, that tracks. But also is your gate 38. You are really good with that, your Neptune and Capricorn, at knowing and helping people, and you see this in our relationship too, knowing when it's worth it to argue and telling people and leading by example about when it's worth it for people to argue. Hi, Melissa, thank you. And stand up for themselves. Is this person actually going to hear you or hear me? I think for you, right, it's that balance of like, oh, it's actually, I'm okay if they hear me, right? But I have to be okay with them not liking who I am as a person if that means that by setting this boundary, I actually like myself more. That's what's more important for that placement. I actually like myself more. And even though that wasn't comfortable, I know it wasn't comfortable in the moment, but I'm going to be more comfortable for the long run because I want to be responsible for my comfort level and knowing that I did what I had to do to advocate for myself in that moment and set a boundary. Not letting people rush in and take advantage of my kindness and mistaking it for weakness, right? It's Gemini, right? It's taking in the data and it's remembering. Geminis don't forget, right? Very Scorpio in that way. Yeah, I'm so glad. We're 36 minutes. No. Oh my God, I've been here for an hour already. An hour and 36 minutes, roughly. Yeah. No, what the hell am I saying? I got here at 7:30. And we're an hour and 6 minutes into the recording when it's on YouTube, so you can go back to look at that. An hour in it'll be. The aspect of this that's beneficial. So in human design, it'll be kind of hard to see, but I talk about this in my YouTube video that's coming out. So the first 5 minutes of that YouTube video, listen to that because it'll be helpful. And obviously I'm doing gate 27 next for you on YouTube, so that'll be helpful. But there's an exaltation or a detriment and a planetary association. So in its exaltation, and in human design, an exaltation and a detriment is very different than what it means in astrology. It's a this or that, not a negative or a positive. Now, of course, the way that you're going to hear this is through the lens of that anyway. I think Ra-Uruhu, he says that, but he kind of finessed it, all that to say the exalted use of your Jupiter gate placement in the 12th line, in the 12th gate, in the 5th line, your design side, is that light is always conscious of darkness. Caution as an expression of social experience. So what the fuck does that mean, right? So I am a person of light. It would be ignorant for me to ignore or pretend that darkness doesn't exist in the world. I may not like it. I may not like or agree with the fact that other people are assholes and don't respect me. But I whether I like it or not or agree with it, whether or not I agree, I have to acknowledge that it's something that's happening, right? I can't be mad about it. I can be mad about it, but I'm not going to let that change who I am as a person, but I'm also not going to let it pull the wool over my eyes and make people think that I'm more naive than I am, right? I'm aware. The negative use of it, that's going to be, in short, very grounding to you because the planetary energy there is earthiness, right? Earthiness. The detriment, right, is the tendency to remember that only the most painful lessons are learned. Caution, which is conditioned by the most painful social experiences. Because what's interesting is that if you look at this from an exalted place, it doesn't just have to be negative experiences. It's a spectrum of experiences. I learned this lesson. I know that when, if you and I are friends and you said, hey, I actually don't want to go to that restaurant. I want to go to this one. For people with your placement and setting that boundary, especially as a Libra, you're like, oh my God, Brenna's gonna fucking hate me. Like, she really wanted to go to that restaurant. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I could go there. Right? And then you're like, oh wait, I don't want to forget that actually when I expressed my desire or my need or my want or like my intuitive knowing in going to this different restaurant, oh, it actually worked out. Instead of me feeling that relief immediately and letting that go, let me remember that has happened in the past, right? That's something that existed and that was good. It doesn't just have to be caution, which is conditioned by the most painful social experiences. When your Jupiter in Cancer is in the 8th house, right? Conjunct Chiron. Yes. But paying attention to that is important. Let me go back here for a second. Sarah and then Emma. Okay, I see. Or I have Emma and then Sarah, excuse me. So I'll pivot over to Emma in a second. Yes, it did. Yeah. Yeah, super anxious because I booked it and everything. Yeah, that's hilarious. Me just remote viewing your day today. It's happening with all my people. But I'll leave you with this before, Emma, I bring up your chart and then we pivot back to Sarah. Thank you, Maple. It's like still showing up and knowing that like you setting a boundary is not as aggressive as you may think that it is, but more so like be like your grandmother. Like she was, it's funny because I know her on spirit side, but not earth side. And she was a person that, didn't care if she spoke when she had something to say. And if she wasn't interested in speaking to you, it's okay because it just wasn't a connection that you were supposed to make with that person. And not every coworker is your friend. Not every person that you meet has to be your friend, right? It's like even on the internet, if you see the internet as Times Square, do you go into Times Square assuming to be friends with everyone? Is everyone in this room right now, we can get along, but it doesn't mean that we have to be friends, right? We can be friendly, but that doesn't mean that there's anything bad or wrong with that. And that, especially as a projector, is going to teach you how to preserve and reserve your energy. So not forgetting that all the gate placements, as much as we go deep, and I just mentioned this in the video I filmed yesterday, as much as we go deep, you have to remember that everything about your gates is in the context of your energy type strategy and authority first, right? So yeah, she definitely doesn't want you to forget what she taught you there. That's for sure. That's for sure. Let's see. So thank you for letting me read for you. Yeah, so discerning. Yeah, and I think it's to like not let the pendulum swing. Like she was there for you for, a reason, right? And so not incorporating that gift from your ancestors in real time. Thank you so much. I'm excited for you. So beautiful Emma here is a projector. Let me see. I'll move my head. So your question is just a quick overview of my design. As I get quite confused with digesting it, I'm easily overwhelmed. Well, I get that. And you're probably like, what the hell is she even talking about? What the heck is even that? And I'll tell you why. So you're a projector in human design. You may or may not know this, but we're going to start from the top. Now we're here. As a projector in human design, you only make up 20% of the population. You're what's known as a non-sacral, meaning that you are part of the group of 3 of the energy types. There's 5 in human design. that don't have a defined sacral center, which means that you have to be more cautious about how you spend your energy, like Anna, who I just read for, like Mo, who's also here too, social, who's not a projector, but a manifester, about who you give your energy to. I say that too, if I had to give you my disclaimers about being a projector, it's that you feel like more of a spiritual being having a human experience versus a human being having a spiritual experience. And I know you will relate to that. And you're like, why do I feel like I never really fit in with the rest of the world? Or like, why can't I just be happy with, you know, this job and this way and this lifestyle? Why can't it just be easier for me? And don't force yourself to fit into a system that wasn't created with you in mind and making it out to feel like it was that there's something wrong with you, right? So paying attention to that is really important. I don't want to forget to say this, but I'm downloading this recording and putting it on YouTube between tonight and tomorrow, so you can go back and watch this. I don't know if you heard me say that. I can't remember at this moment, but I don't want to forget, so you can listen and affirm. Now, as a projector, every projector has a set group of authorities in human design. You're welcome. Your authority or your inner authority, the way that you connect is self-projected. So this means that I know that you're the person who sings to yourself, who talks to yourself, who needs to say things out loud to know that what you are thinking or processing even has any validity to it. You need a sounding board, someone that can hold space for you, even if they don't exactly know what you're talking about or have the same shared subject matter. It's just someone that you know, like, and trust that you can word vomit to. I think all projectors besides one in my Patreon right now have a defined throat. You guys are my biggest group because you say what you mean what you say, but you have to have somebody that helps you to get it out, right? Talking to yourself is helpful, but it's helpful to have somebody else who's like, okay, I know that when I see someone's reaction, if I'm like, I want to dye my hair blue, and someone's reaction is like, oh, you're like, in response to that, yeah, they may think it's an but like, yeah, I know that I want to dye my hair blue. Yeah, Shashi, hi. I know, exactly. That's so funny. I manifested you lurking in the shadows. Hello. So paying attention to that. What else to do? Oh, so as a projector, we have any energy type. We have our energy type, our strategy, and authority. If you can learn all those things as much as you can about your energy type, yeah, I can imagine a lot of people talking over you. Hi, Susie. Hi, Susanna. If you can learn everything that you can about your energy type, strategy, and authority, all the other aspects of your human design, well, it's like a domino effect that falls into place. So it's like, when in doubt, go back to those core three and it won't steer you wrong. Finding that balance. I want to go deep as a projector, but I need to come back out again. So you don't kind of lose your mind in the process. It's honestly, a lot of that is because you're Virgo. Your Virgo placements, Virgo moon, like that tracks, Gate 47, always wanting to have, the very active mind. A couple other fun things that I like to talk about that will be helpful, especially being a Leo who's, visual, creative person. Looking at the graph that we have in front of us, the chart. When we're looking at colors and shapes, something that I look at automatically is, where do you have areas of definition or color? Where are they colored in, aka defined? These are pockets of energy that are generally more consistent in your aura, or generally more consistent in your personality. Hi, Tina. Generally more consistent in your personality. So it acts as a natural buffer for you to have less outside influence or to compromise those areas of yourself based on what other people do, how they are around you, etc. So when you have a defined head and ajna center, that's this blue and this gray square. It's okay if you don't remember those vocab words at this moment. It's kind of irrelevant in the grander scheme of things. No one's going to change your mind on something. You have a specific process that you have to go through when you're thinking about something, when you're processing something. No one's going to rush that process. You have to get to your logic and have that meet your emotions at a specific time, right? It's very fixed. We see that with Leo. It's actually two Virgo gate placements coming together, which we see that even though Virgo is mutable. This is where we could see, like, similar to Gemini, like, once I have more information that is informative, it's backed up by facts and data to inform my emotions, then I'll change my mind. But I'm not necessarily going to change my mind just because you told me. Because you told me to. Because you told me to. Also with your Virgo Venus. So what I'm referencing is all the gates here in human design, as I mentioned earlier, correlate to different aspects of your natal chart in Western astrology, your tropical chart. And when you get from Astro or astroseek.com, generally speaking. Projectors are very hypercritical. You're very aware of how everyone can be doing things a lot better. Make sure that you're not giving unsolicited advice. That's what it means to wait for the invitation. You have a better way and a more efficient way that we know we can get things done. However, 70% of the population that is different from you has to try it out the hard way. That's where I say a lot of the time it's important for projectors, hi Rose, hi Erin, to remember that you can't outsmart people of the lessons that they're supposed to learn. You can be there, but then what you also want to remember is that even when they come back around and you can say, I told you so, that you still are also not responsible for picking up the pieces of anything else that somebody may have learned the hard way. Your Leo Mercury in gate 29 in human design, also very important. I say this often for people with this placement. It's one that has some boldness, higher volume. I underscore it, I outline it, I put a anything I can to highlight it. It's watching for how quickly and to whom you commit yourself and your energy. So not quickly saying, yes, I'm going to do that. You mean well. Yeah, hermiting is good. You mean well, right? But you have to really understand and take a step back and say, well, do I actually have bandwidth to help? I know I want to help my friend move. I know I want to go to the movies with them. Shashi, in short, gates of the sacral. I know I want to help them, but actually, do I really have the bandwidth for that right now? Usually I say this for emotional authorities, but it helps because of your mental processing aspects with that channel. To say, I really want to say yes to that and I'm excited about it now, but let me get back to you. And that, to be fair, is like your 5 and second line. Your heretic wanting to help people. Thanks, Orion. That's cute. Versus your hermiting, right? Versus that introversion. That's helpful too. That back and forth. Oh, thank you, Rose. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Rose, I was saying I'm posting the recordings of my TikToks onto YouTube also. So any good convo we have is also going to be placed over there too. I don't forget to say that. 2 things, and the thing that I'll leave you with in our last minute together, because I was a minute over, but I want to make sure you get your full 10 minutes before we pivot over to Sarah, and anyone else who wants to indulge in reading today. Oh, Dwadaki. Okay, yay. Dwadaki after that is, where do you feel successful and where do you feel bitter? Bitterness is not this, it's this. Bitterness is your not self theme. We don't, when we feel bitter, if it's pushed to resentment, you've pushed past a boundary for too long. Bitterness is how we know, oh, I feel bitter about this. I need to do something about this. Doesn't mean I have to be officially fully mad at this person, but I know that a boundary is being pushed. Maybe both can be true. I'm going to call my energy back. People, places, and things that have made me feel successful, that have made me feel good. The times in my life that I can recall that I feel successful, I want to go back and really take stock and critically think about what was happening, who I was with, where I felt appreciated, recognized, I got a valid invitation from somebody. That's going to be really helpful. And those are aspects that will ground you in being a projector that will help everything else fall into place. All right. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. That was fun. I love looking at your chart. You have a great chart. You have a very fun chart and fun energy for sure. Let me pivot back to Miss Sarah here before beautiful Dwadaki. There you go. Let's scroll through here. I feel like hold on, let me go back. I feel like I scrolled past you because I don't think you were that far. I'll do this for a second so you can see my little ambiance. Glen Coco, oh no. Glen Coco is not who I wanted to choose. there we go. Yeah. I was like, I definitely scrolled past you. Thank you. You're like, I was right there. You were right there. Yeah, about variables. Oh, your north and south node. Okay. Yeah, you're so welcome. You said thanks for the special sale. I left my, hi Trick, I left my readings at $4.04. Maybe I'll do that for the foreseeable future. We'll see that. Yeah, Clyde and Coco from Mean Girls, exactly. Okay, so to process the variables. So the variables are actually where we get your bottom right hand side chart properties. So your taste, your need, motivation, survival, all of that. So it's basically the bottom right hand side is a way to understand this. So for you, and this is where we get some of the like how you manifest based on your variables. I actually, although people make fun of Jenna Zoe for saying that, this is like where I find it to be true, because you being your bottom right arrow facing the right hand side is like you have to manifest based on how something makes you feel. So when you're writing down your manifestations, tying it to a feeling, which is also good for your emotional authority, is to say, I want to feel when I have, a partner that has curly hair and is green eyes and looks like Adrienne Grenier. When my partner is Adrienne Grenier, I don't even know who that is. Adrienne Grenier, I will feel happy, right? Or I will feel this, or it makes me feel happy when. So paying attention to that, because what that also ties into with your variables a bit too, when I'm pulling in, is your need motivation. Need motivation is also really great because it tells you, what do I need to have right now to feel stable? What do I need right now to make me feel happy? What do I need right now, right? And that ties into your survival perspective. What are actually, when I cut the shit and trim the fat, what are my essentials, right? This is where what I'll also say for your variables with this, that if you were to say, okay, I need or want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to gain 10 pounds, whatever the case is, right? We've been talking a lot about weight. Weight has come up a lot because of our Virgo node, South node, and our Aries season, right? It's like the zodiac new year. So it's like, what are we manifesting? What do I need to absolutely do to get down to the brass tacks? I could buy this program and pay for Factor 55 meals and buy Eat Clean Bro products, but like, okay, there you go. Yeah. So it's like, okay, the biggest thing that I need to remember is calories in, calories out. And maybe I know as a man gen, prioritizing protein over anything else is what helps me when I'm going into a deficit. So if I focus on that, also, I do, and of course, if it health-wise permitting for you, Sarah, intermittent fasting also does help with, in my experience, generators and emotional authorities, because it starts to teach your body after like 2 or 3 days. Yeah, I love that. 2 or 3 days, like how to not emotionally eat, but to eat for fuel. And your body adapts very quickly, especially because of your placements. Again, I'm not a dietitian, blah, blah, but you read between the lines, right? What's also interesting, and what Shashi had mentioned earlier and asked about, was taste. So taste is one of your senses. In human design, we have 2 senses, one that comes from our design side and one that comes from our personality side based on the combination of arrows. Your design sense is taste, where it's like, I have this as my sense as well. And it's like, what am I setting the standard for? Right? I don't want to use anyone's chart generator besides mine, because I think most of the other ones are ugly. That's why I made my own. I'm dead ass. I'm like, I like my colors and the way that things look. I don't want no other crusty, dusty chart generators, respectfully. But I have an aesthetic that I like to maintain. Right? I have an image that I'm maintaining over here. Thank you so much. Our colors are so intertwined, Rose. But because it's so me, right? Like, I love that for that reason. Hi, Tiara. So that, oh my God, Michaela, you're going to say purely Elizabeth? I literally have plans to eat that after this live. So paying attention to that, right? Also, right, when we're eating or creating a dietary plan, hi, Larry, things have to taste good. If I don't like cottage cheese and I think it tastes bad, cottage cheese is not going to be on my plan for more protein. my go-to, even though I do like cottage cheese actually, but if I don't like cottage cheese, I'm not going to eat it, right? That plays into taste. And that's what helps you to know how to not sabotage, right? What I'll say to answer Michaela's question too, is that what I do is I mix Cheerios, because Cheerios are high volume. It's like a cup and a half for 150 calories. And then I mix a third of a cup of Purely Elizabeth ancient grain granola. So it gives me that crunch, because crunch is a big thing for me. Also, it's a sign of low iron. I do take an iron supplement. But Sarah, that can play into too, like a combination of that. And then if you get like a Fairlife milk with protein, it can add more protein that way, right? I love it because I'm like, it's a higher volume food. That's why like veggies actually are better. And also for taste, right, Sarah? If you don't like raw veggies, having somebody that has taste in your variables, it's like, okay, I want to grill them, to roast them with some olive oil in the oven, and it has to taste good for me to enjoy it, right? So I had sweet potatoes and chicken for my breakfast lunch today. I don't care about if it's not a breakfast food, if that's when I want to eat it, I want to eat it. So that's also a taste thing, just from personal experience. The quick thing that I also wanted to dive into in the last 3 minutes we have together is your North and South Node that you were asking about, because I have your North and South Node are a part of my incarnation cross. So your North Node in Virgo and South Node in Pisces, you're going through your nodal opposition right now. So we have that transit happening for you. So North Node in Virgo, right? You're at that point at 27, you're like, what am I doing? Why am I going this direction? Getting back to center. It's when I did my like 75 soft. If you actually go, and this is funny, you guys I'm exposing myself. If you go and toggle my videos to like the oldest, my very first videos are of me in like 2021 doing the 75 soft and doing my little walk and like my bad editing, my millennial pauses. It's funny. I think if you're in that era, but I was 27 in those videos. So you'll see that transition there. But that's when a lot of things happen. Virgo is also like getting on your Zoom, right? Like, I want to get organized when it comes to my health, my wellness, my well-being. Your South Node in Pisces is like also remembering that like we want to be organized about things, but we also want to pull in some elements of being softer with ourselves. But you know you best, right? This is a time where you're like, okay, I'm sick and tired of my own shit. I want to make sure that I'm rising to the occasion and saying like, okay, what do I need here? Gate of doubt, gate 63, gate of confusion, last of all 64 gate placements, Virgo gate placement. What do I need to make sure that gate of confusion doesn't mean that you're always going to be confused. It means that you have to have a certain level of questions that you have answered to feel secure. And don't be worried about being the but why kid. Why are we doing this? Why are you doing that? What's the point in me eating 90 grams of protein versus 100? It's okay to kind of like, the more you kind of almost like obsess over the words, the more you get yourself into a headspace of that. Now, I would allow yourself like a day, right? Like yesterday to get your routine in order. But then it's like, okay, it's Thursday, it's Friday, got to get done on Friday. Everyone's looking forward to the weekend. I want to be in the gym, right? Like I need things to happen. I need to get into the gym, right? I need to get on my Zoom. So those are some things also with your North and South Node that you're going to be feeling. So you creating a workout plan during this time and sticking to that routine, yeah, doesn't surprise me even a little bit. And I'm happy for you. I'm glad. And it's also interesting because what I said for the gate of caution with Anna as well is a good is good for your moon sign. So I didn't want to forget to say that too. So there's some cross-pollination there between readings. But thank you again for booking with me so I could tap into you again twice in one night. And then beautiful Dwadiki. Let me bring up your chart, my fellow Pisces queen. I know I have you in here already, so let's double check. Let me see actually. Yeah. And the problem is, thank you. I just saw a little gift. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you. That's so cute. I love those hanging lights. Okay. I'm just going to put in your chart again because I can't find it as quickly as I want to. And I feel like now it'll take more time than not. Here. Do this. Dorothy and I are actually a day apart, you guys. I'm the second and she's the first. So we're down to the year. So what I'll say, right, to answer your question or to start answering your question as I'm pulling up your chart. So could you please teach me how easily my surroundings affect my energy, mood, and day, and how I can best protect and cleanse my energy? So I also struggle with this. I know it very well. Obviously, us being so connected, right, via our sun signs alone. And something that's important to me also because of our gate 5 is that I really have to make sure that I have buffer time between any of my tasks, and I can't allow myself to feel bad about when I get tired, right? So thank you, Sarah. See you soon. So I remember that you have gate 5 like I do. So one of the things that I really pay attention to is like reverse engineering, beginning with the end in mind. Because I know that my environment, I'm sensitive to it, and I'm very sensitive to when I have like a full 1 hour reading with somebody. If I have like today, I had my mentorship session at 11 and my spiritual therapy session, if you will. And I knew like, okay, I need a full hour buffer at least. So, and to me, it's like, I still feel the effects of what happened at 11 a.m. at 9 o'clock at night, right? I'm sensitive when I'm purging or processing something because we're Pisces, right? We're water signs. We can't help it. And Scorpio moons and Aquarius Mercury's and Pisces Venuses, right? And Aquarius Mars and Scorpio Jupiter, right? We basically have the same natal chart, just with the different houses because we're different rising signs. So making sure I have time to purge and compartmentalize. If there's any two words, right? Purge and compartmentalize. Now, how do we purge, right? How do we compartmentalize? When we need a moment of processing time solo. We also need long periods of introspection because of our placements, right? You were a 2-4, although I'm a 1-3. It's like that. I need to be selective in who I choose to spend my time around. My time and my energy are two of the most precious resources that I have, right? And not forgetting that is important. It's an honor for me to share that with people, right? And making all of you feel the same way. I know, right, for using my day as an example and how I do this in real time, that my priority on a Wednesday, a Thursday, and most Fridays is showing up for you guys. I know that even though I love this energetically for my body, it does take a lot out of me, right? Because I'm holding the container for myself and 15 other people in this room right now for 2 to 3 hours at a time. But because it's a priority to me, right, I know that I have to factor my day around the fact that this is something that's important to me and that energy has to come from somewhere, right? That we need to find that balance. So if I have other things like today, I wanted to go to a bar class in person. Oh, hello, goodbye. A bar class in person. But I was like, you know what? After my 2 meetings today, I don't want to getting in the car and driving. And I know that it just feels weird today. I know how the energy feels before I leave the house because I'm in tune, as are you. So instead of trying to cram in every aspect of every one of my goals in one day, I stretch it out throughout the week. I only go to bar classes 1 to 2 days a week. I don't stress myself about having to get to the gym every single day. But what I do is walk on my walking pad at every point for some variety of time every single day. That also helps because that's a priority to me. Getting exercise is a priority to me. Physically, as a manifesting generator, for me and for you, exercise should be a priority. We don't want to go to bed having not exercised our physical energy appropriately. So if you don't have a walking pad or something that's keeping you, a standing desk even, that can allow you to fidget during the day, working from home or being from home a lot, that would be one of the ways automatically. Like penultimate, or having like, even if you work from home and you have these placements, doing a fake commute, walking around a little bit outside, or doing some yoga, having a signal for your brain that there's different parts of the day is really important. It helps, and something that helps as well. No, a bar Pilates style class, Pilates meets ballet. I know that I am moody, right? We are moody. We're Scorpio moons, Pisces suns. We're all water and air. If I do not write out the top 3 to 6, so what I do every night before I go to bed, I look at my calendar, my Google Calendar, and on a piece of paper, I write down all the things that are my set appointments for the day. Today it was 7:30 TikTok live, right? Hey, Eamon. I had an 11 o'clock meeting, and I had a 11 o'clock and a 1 o'clock meeting today. Those go on my calendar first. Then at the top of my page, after I write down my day, I say, okay, well, what are the top 3 to 6 things that I also want to prioritize because of what's important to me? Yeah, it does, right? Knowing that I'm already A+ in the assignment already. You're doing more than you realize already. And no one booked for right after you, so we have extra time. I don't have to make it a special announcement. And again, this will be posted on YouTube, so you can go back an hour and 40 minutes in to the recording and watch this again and again. So to help just kind of give you a personal reminder. Then from there, I plug in like windows of like chunks of time. So for example, I know, okay, from like 12 to 2 o'clock today, or from 1 to 2 o'clock today, from when my first meeting started to my last meeting ended, I had a window of things that I could prioritize. I wanted to work out, right? Because working out is a priority for me. It helps my mental health. It helps keep my mood in order, right? It helps just make me feel good. And then if I'm at a walking desk on my walking pad on my standing desk, I can get me emails. It's when I uploaded my recording for my projectors yesterday, for the session we had yesterday, I uploaded today. I do my admin stuff at the same time, right? Because that admin stuff and that housekeeping is important, but I know that I fucking hate emails. So if I have to, emails are the bane of my existence. I'll do anything else. But I know that if I feel like I'm doing a good task and I'm getting 2 things done simultaneously, manifesting generator, that puts me in an exaltation, not a detriment, so to speak, to use a vocab words. So some other things that I can say, because basically reading for you is like reading for myself, also helps, because it'll also help with your emotional wave regulation, although I'm a sacral. Knowing that I have a set plan for my day, and that I know that part of my priorities is also sitting down and having a dinner for an hour and a half, playing with my cat, Benny, and sitting with my fiance and having dinner together is important to me. So that also goes in my list, and it's blocked out of my calendar every single day. We have that connection time because that's a priority for me. I don't care if someone has another need. Like, I'm not that important. I'm not a doctor performing heart surgery. Like that cliche, I work in marketing. Like, I can wait an hour and a half, right? Trust me, I have my DMs, I have lots of messages filled with crises, but like, I also have a life that I've lived a lot of chaos, and fought for this piece. So that's a priority for me to keep, right? So remembering that with your placements too, we have a lot of capacity, but it's also within what is good for me in my day. And I've dealt with a lot of crises. Your gate of crises is what's screaming to me right now for your Venus sign. Not every crisis is one that you have to be emotionally available to solve, nor for free, right? It's like, am I being paid to do this right now? Is this part of my job description? No? Okay, then we're going to prioritize that. We're going to restructure how that fits into when I make myself available. Big lesson during my Saturn return is I know you feel that also. Let me read. I feel like there was another part that I wanted to reference. The way that you worded something led me to believe something else. Not starting your day on your phone. So I don't start my day going on my phone and figuring out what other people want from me, because that's just my natural disposition. I'm naturally good at helping people. I love being able to help people, but people expect that of me, and that's fine, right? I want them to. I'm being of service to you guys right now, but I know that first thing in the morning, I don't want to hop on TikTok because I'm going to go to the notifications. I'm going to see all the comments of what people have left on my videos, right? Because I don't have, it's like, this is my page, right? It's not like I'm going onto a personal account or have another account for that specifically. But yeah, and so my priorities, I love to read, so I want to read in the morning, right? Me having those boundaries, that's like on what I do and what I allow in, barriers to entry for what I open the floodgates to, is really important. Now what I would say, is adding in the good instead of trying to force yourself to push out the bad and focus on everything that's ever been wrong with you and your schedule and how you've been going against your energy. So what I mean by that is that you want to start to integrate priorities and how you what is the biggest thing that's having the most impact, that's the biggest brain drain and energetic drain on you right now? So if it's phone in the morning sets me up for internalizing all the news and all the bad things that are happening with the world at this moment, I know that that's the first thing that I need to look at. So instead of me thinking about I can't go on my phone for the first hour of the day, it's reframing it to I'm going to start my day by making myself a cup of coffee. Maybe if you are not a morning person, you actually can make yourself a cup of coffee the night before, so it's already in the fridge and you just have to heat it up on the stove or in the microwave, right? I literally am like that. Like my fiance brings me coffee every morning now, thank God, because he's a morning person. I'm not, and then they marry each other. But that's what I would do. I would have my frying pan, my spatula, the butter knife, my spoon for my coffee, my plate, my specific plate that I wanted, all set out the night before. So that I didn't have to think about what was happening until I reheated my coffee. The milk was already in the coffee in the refrigerator. And all I had to do was put it in the microwave or heat it up on the stove, or like the coffee pod was in the Keurig, right? So those things are also knowing thyself, right? The decision fatigue, exactly. In the morning, like I generally know that this is my hyperfixation breakfast. We don't like, as Gate 5 people, a lot of change at one time that is external. Now, one of the only things in life that is constant is change. So I know that there's always a day where someone's going to reschedule with me. There's always days where I can get a lot, and usually things happen in 3. So I could have like 3 people that reschedule with me, but I make sure, right, what I have set into my business so that again, it's sustainable. And I'm thinking with the end in mind of how I know that I operate. You get 1 reschedule with me, right, on only certain days of the week, right? 1 reschedule with me for certain times. And then if you don't make the reschedule, this barely happens, but if you can't make the reschedule, I will record our session during the rescheduled time, and then you get the recording, because now you've blocked off 2 dates on my calendar that you were unavailable to make for 2 other potential windows for people to book with me. So the compromise is that you don't have access to me in person. Yeah, we could email maybe once or twice, but I'm clear about not liking email, and you still get your recording, right? So there's still an exchange there. But that's the important piece of like, okay, I know myself, I know my bandwidth, I know that I don't want to be balancing that schedule like that. I'm a one-woman show. People have admin assistants. You want to play with somebody, play with the doctor's office, right? But it's like, it's not in my energy to attract people who are that have to do this with the schedule. I get it shit happens, but like, I get it shit happens. So we're gonna make this even. That's just a way that I can explain like another tangible of how that happens in my life. Other things I would say is like, know that we're incredibly compassionate and empathetic and sympathetic. So we are so in tune to the emotional world around us, but it's like, okay, I can feel it, but how can I acknowledge this feeling outside of me a little bit? How can I say, okay, this person is feeling this way. I felt it a little bit, right? You have a little bit of an extra help because of that refined emotional center. But if you know that you're moody, again, we're caves people based on our environment. Being a caves person alone, 1 person at a time. Group dinners are fine, but like I don't expect that I'm gonna have like the best conversation. Or I know that the person I sit next to is a person I'm going to prioritize conversation with. I'm not trying to compete in a loud restaurant across the table, right? Case people, I'm already in the Tony Soprano seat where my back is facing the wall so I can see where all the exits are and who's coming in the door, right? We know that. That's going to help with being overstimulated in our environment too. So also to note, focusing on the feng shui of your room for that is important. But when things happen, right, how can I process them and being a little bit detached using your helpful Aquarian placements with that Aquarian detachment is going to come in clutch when it comes to processing those things. So I've given you a lot that probably feels like, hey Josh, a little overwhelming at this moment, but let me know if any of you have any follow-up questions, but just good for Gate 5 people, and especially some things that I know about myself to be true. Having somebody, basically reading for myself in real time in a lot of ways. Thank you. Hello. It's very helpful, especially with Jupiter and Scorpio. For us, it's like, oh, here we're taking an emotion and we're expanding it because Jupiter is conjunct our moon. So, okay, this is a big feeling, right? It's that, yeah. I'm so glad. Thank you for saying that and not overwhelming at all. I feel seen. I'm like, okay, how can I practice my cadence so that I'm not word vomiting. But yeah, so that way I know it's not word vomiting, but that I'm not overwhelming you completely in one time. Yeah. So giving yourself that grace and saying, okay, sustainable action, habit stacking, no phone time in the morning, for example. If I know if I can identify that as a stressor, for me, it's like, I cannot, leave a call and then run right upstairs. I need to process that call. Usually I know I have my buffer time. I record all my calls for myself, but also my clients, so they get a recording. Usually my buffer time in processing, I like to highlight as I check things off my list, on my paper list that I made the night before. That's really important. So I'm not waking up trying to think about what I'm going to do for the day. And allowing buffer time for things that happen. But I can't jump. I'm not somebody who, when I have downtime, the last thing I'm doing is looking at my phone or like texting somebody. Like, people know, like, I'm not a texter. I'm like, texting is means to an end to see you in person, right? Or like we're FaceTiming or something, or we're meeting online. But it's like, I don't look to fill my space with like, who do I have to get back to? So I know that also from one, all of our placements to another, basically the Sri Lankan born version of me, is helpful to remember that. So yeah. So I'm excited. You have to let me know what you start to do or how you refactor your day. And yeah. And if anyone else, I'll stay on for about another 10 minutes or so. And then let me look at I'm debating for tomorrow. I think I'll pause on tomorrow. I've been debating Fridays in general, just because we're going out tomorrow night, so I have a shorter window. And you were the one who mainly asked, Wadaki. Oh, hi, honey. Hi, welcome. You're a fellow Bree. My name is Brenna. Nice to meet you. But I think I'll pause and I'll be back on YouTube on Wednesday. I'll post this. So yeah, so I won't be on tomorrow just for the sake of time. I want to do some more organizing tomorrow. Listening to my Pisces Venus day scheduling, as my Patreon people know. But thank you, honey, for indulging us in the meantime through our organization. But so my name is Brenna. Every Thursday and most Fridays I host what's called Human Design Hotline here. I do Wednesday over on YT YouTube, same handle. But I am a human design reader of 9 years and a practicing astrologer. So I do mini readings for people, and then we have a community of us, some people that are in my Patreon that join us, some people that only know me on this portal, a cross-pollination of a bunch of people. And yeah, so if you actually look ahead in my calendar at the link in my bio for TikTok live mini readings, I actually have it still set to $4.40 only. You may still be able to snag one for tonight, but if you want to book for a time ahead, it's still at that price. Usually it's $12, and $12 is actually even more of the affordable price from $22 per month, so that I've had for a while. So if you want to snag that, it's available. But you can see my schedule ahead of time when you go into TikTok live mini readings, and then YouTube is over on YouTube also. But generally speaking, my schedule is always 7:30. Sometimes I happen a little earlier, but 7:30 Wednesdays on YT, and then 7:30 on Thursdays here on TikTok. But yeah, we were talking a lot about the transits. I talk a lot about the overlap between human design and astrology, and actually giving you like real tips. I'm not the person that's the type of reader that's like this is just what this means. Like, I'm like, okay, this is what this means, but like, this is how you're actually going to use this as advice that helps you. Cause like, yeah, it's cool. But I'm like, at that point, why are you having somebody read for you? You could just scroll through TikTok a bunch of times and look at my content. At that point, I'm like, what's the practical integration is what's very important to me. And people would say that that's overgiving, but that's just my reading style. So now that you know the lay of the land. But thank you for being here. Yeah, the investigator profile is right. Aw, thank you. This is such a great training. Thank you for that. I know it was so exciting for me to do that for you guys. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that training. It was helpful. I've been practicing it for myself for about a year. And then looking at the gates is like the next step that I've been at for a while. Oh, I should do that too. I got a second monitor set up over here, so that's what I'm looking at in the meantime. But yeah, if anyone has any comments, questions, curiosities, things you want to drop in the chat in the last few minutes of our time here together, please feel free. And I'll look over in a second. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, next week is block off. I actually, Wednesday and Thursday, I forgot, I have a wedding on Thursday for my reflector friend, Riley. And then Wednesday, I also took the day. So Wednesday night, I'll let you guys know. There's a section when you go to my YouTube page. I'll think about the scheduling tomorrow because maybe I'll shift it. Let me think about this for a second. Let me see what time. Hold on. I'm going to organize this at the moment. I need each day to be twice as long as it is. Okay, so that's 4 to 5:30. So this I'm moving. This is that. This is gonna be. I feel like there's something Monday. I have a wedding Sunday and I have a wedding Thursday also. Friday I'll definitely be on. And then Saturday, I actually don't have anything for Saturday right now. So why don't I put, what's a good time? Would you guys come on live on Saturday? I'll do TikTok for Friday, but Saturday I can do YouTube. Do you guys have a time for YouTube that you would come on? If YouTube is your jam. Friday, I'll do 7 o'clock. I'll actually do a little earlier. We're just gonna do that. And then, yeah, twice as long, please. Wait, oh, wow, sorry, I missed a lot. I missed a lot as I'm doing my schedule. Oh, Michaela, that is my life's work. That is what you see every day. I am psychic as much as I am a reader. So I'm always, sometimes I'll think of the psychic thing first and I'll validate it with the human design. I'm like, I know this to be true, but where can I also say, oh, it's here? Hurricane, that's such a good question. Give me 1 second, just because I was figuring out some strategy. Let me see. Oh, okay, honey. Yeah, I saw that too. I don't know. Any times for Saturday? Oh, till 4. Okay, so the evening is good. So 4 p.m. So 4 p.m. Arizona time. I think that's 3 hours behind. I'll just say 3 for the sake of it. Even if it's 2, it'll still work. 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. Okay, so 7 o'clock on Saturday. I can do that. So let me do this for now. And this will be on YouTube. Saturday will be on YouTube. Just to clarify. So I don't have that open just yet because it's not my usual day. But on Saturday, 7 o'clock, you'll see that available at that time. And I got a new amazing setup for you guys. So you guys, I'm not on my phone anymore. If you could look at my live from yesterday, you'll see that. So let me just put that in. I'm just going to block off the day. I have to talk to myself out loud a little bit when I'm, again, gate 5, changing the schedule. YouTube live, 7 p.m. Okay, and then I will, we'll go in and edit that. And then I'll be on here a little bit later, certified yapper, of course, but I'm glad we did this now because as a true sacral MG would say, there's no time like the present. YouTube live set up 7 p.m. Saturday, which is the 19th already. How the fuck is it gonna be the 19th? That's scary. That's insane. We knew, Anna said it was going to be high frequency. It was going to be, yeah. Okay, so for PST, your time is 7 p.m. my time on the East Coast. Okay, so we'll do that. So Friday night, officially, Friday night, the 18th of next week, I'll be on at 7:30. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then Saturday, I'll be on YouTube. I still have slots open for right now too. So if you guys if you don't want to wait that long and you want to snag something, I can just stay. I'm not like totally exhausted. So my body's not screaming at me just yet. So I'll leave that just for the sake of it. But yeah. I'm going to pin Hurricane's comment for a second, just because it was the first one I saw. So would a rapper have an open or closed throat center? So that's not how that works fully. A rapper could have both. I would actually argue, so if I were to choose rappers, right, and think about, I don't know, could we say that like Nas, for example, Nas, for someone who's very deeply in like rap being so poetic, the best poetic rappers that tell a great story probably have an undefined throat center, because they actually speak better through lyrics and riddles and communicating in an indirect, direct way through song. It's just a song. I'm not going to tell you I love you straight up, but I can make a song about it, right? About hearing this beautiful person in my life and I would do anything for you. Never saying I love you in the song, but I'll send you that. Versus somebody with a close, defined throat is going to be more literal. Like, I love you, and then here's the song that I made about you. Lady Gaga, I actually did a video about her on YouTube in the Incarnation Cross video that I made. She has a completely undefined throat in Human Design. And it's interesting because when you watch her and her persona, right, her Lady Gaga persona, oh yay, okay, cool, honey, thank you. I don't want you to feel excluded. When you look at her and her persona, she's actually better at like communicating through song and like her Joanne album and things like that than she is when she's just like talking in an interview. She's like a little awkward, which I love that about her. But she's a good example of somebody that I know of off the top of my head that we can all like reference pretty clearly. Let me just do this for a second so I have a little bit more space to type. Yeah, that's helpful. That's helpful for that, or to know that. Gate 8 I saw as well being referenced, so I'm just going to write that down because I don't remember who. I think it was, I think that was you, Mo, who had said that, but I just wanted to go back and look at that. Oh, another Scorpio enters the group. I love this. Listen, I have 5 placements in Scorpio, which you may have heard. I love that. I bet you have some, I think your North Node actually, well, maybe Scorpio could also be Sagittarius, which would explain your email address, which is funny. Yeah, finish taxes. No, I feel that. Bye, Spooky Witchy. Sorry, you're probably already gone. Oh, gate 8 for you, D. Okay, that was D. So I saw the color purple and I was like, oh, I associate that with Mo. So I'll do it gate 8 deep dive also. But let me see. Brie, are you cool to start now a little early since we're here? Or do you want to wait? Did you have something you want to do? Do you want to get a drink? You want to get a snack before we dove in? I'll give you a second to decide. Or a minute. It's not a second. I'm not rushing you. Your chart is here, so we have that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for you as well. Oh, frequency. Okay. Hi. You're probably like, oh yeah, take your time. Take your time. We'll start at 9:40, so 9:40 Eastern, so 8 minutes. Take your time. That's so funny. Thank you for letting me know who you were. Cause I'm like, it's so funny. Michaela has like 8 different profiles. And I was like, I literally just learned when you booked with me on TikTok that you were the same person that we see over on YouTube. I was like, I'm so sorry for like, I don't know, like energetically, like names are so funny like that. I just didn't put two and two together. And then people who are like, wait, I'm like, okay, Chris that joined us last night. I'm like, is this Chris? That's my projector Chris? That's the Scorpio projector Chris? Or is this another Chris? Right? Did my dad figure out my dad's name is Chris? Did my dad figure out how to do YouTube and I didn't know it? You know, that kind of thing. So I'm like, always let me know. But it's nice to see you here too. Yeah, it really, confusion. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. That's like I am confusion. I know you meant confusing, but that struck that, I don't know if it was a Vine or I am confusion. It was like the Arkansas versus Kansas video. Okay, I'm going to take off the rest of Tuesday right now. No, that was right. I have to block that off because, again, the time has to come from somewhere. That's good. That is fine. This is so funny. So the Arkansas video. Yeah. On Sunday is Manny's grandfather's wedding. And before my dad had gotten sick and he couldn't work anymore as he was transitioning into a retired life, but he was, I guess, medically retired is the best way you can say it. He was working, my dad was working as a security guard at like a old folks home, essentially. It was like a semi-high-rise apartment building. And it actually turned out that my fiance's grandfather was a tenant of the building, and he speaks my fiance's Cuban, for those of you who don't know. Most of you that are here know at this point, but he speaks no English, and so my dad would always try to, being an undefined throat Virgo generator, would always be like, let me try to make conversation. Like, we had this connection, and it was almost like two ships passing in the night and while having the same conversation. And so my dad, this is 2 years ago now, which is crazy, maybe even 3. My dad sends a picture of my fiance's name, his grandfather, and this woman. And I showed it to my soon-to-be in-laws, and my father-in-law was like, oh, he's such a flirt and blah, blah. So it turns out that he's married, fast forward a couple of years, and he's marrying this woman on Sunday, 84 years old. And it's just so cute that these little 80-year-old, late 70-year-old couple getting married. So probably maybe or maybe not have pictures on my Instagram story on Sunday. It was very, very cute. So I should look up, I don't know what his, but it's funny because I thought it was funny. They're actually getting married the day that Venus goes direct, which is funny. They have no vested interest in that, fully. They're more religious than they are spiritual in that way. But yeah, so it's just funny, very cute. And I was like, how we're not even aware of they're not even actively planning that around the transits, but how it ends up happening anyway, which I think is really cute. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the stories that I could tell you, Manny has such cool, he was we were talking about him doing, a podcast episode or you guys getting a peek behind the scenes of him. Cause I don't post him here on my Instagram more so, but even then it's not that often. But doing an interview, cause he has such cool stories from his mom, him about, spiritual things that have happened. And also just being from Cuba, immigrants to this country, their family literally won the government lottery in 2000, I think it was, either late 90s or very early 2000s, to win the government lottery to leave Cuba to come to this country with they were here's your green card, here's all your papers, but you have to figure out how to pay to get there, which is really interesting. Thank you, Mariah. Hello. And it's funny because with all my placements, I always knew that, and on my specific manifestor list, I literally manifested, I want my future husband to have dark curly hair, check, although my fiance, my husband to be shaved his head recently, Sag rising, so they're always changing their hair, Anna. Just nice eyes, so he has hazel green eyes, they change with the weather, which is really interesting. Oldest sibling energy. He's the youngest of 3, but he's the only boy in an immigrant family, so if you're familiar with that vibe. like so many things. I have the list somewhere. It would be funny to read it to you guys at some point. But yeah, I'm a specific manifester. Yeah, exactly, Anna. I'm like, it's just a matter of time. I'm like, are we doing like some little braids? Do we want hair tinsel? Is it going to be curly? Are we going keratin treatment? Yeah, what are we doing? Keratin, Kerastas. Finding that balance. But yeah, Sag risings always change their hair. Ooh, yeah. That's interesting. So Jupiter and always changing my hair. So Sag risings, what's your rising sign, Hurricane? Are you Sag rising or Sagittarius? I mean, Hurricane alludes itself to maybe being a little Sag too. Oh, Virgo. Okay, so Virgo rising. So Jupiter on your ascendant means that your physical characteristics, your aura, your presentation, like you having all caps like I do for your name makes sense. Jupiter in the first house is an expander. Oh, there you go, frequency. Yes. It's that expansion, right? So wherever you have Jupiter, which is the planetary ruler of Sagittarius, it almost flavors a little bit of that Sag in your first house, regardless, even though you're a Virgo rising. That's to say that Virgo being most of your first house if you're using whole sign versus Placidus. So yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. Jupiter's like almost on my ascendant. I'm an Aquarius rising, and Uranus is pushed into my 12th house, which is interesting in and of itself, because it's a generational placement as a 94 baby. So yeah. What did you mean by AN? So, and Uranus and, was there another planet? Yeah. But that's good for you. So where Jupiter also is, it brings luck. So like no matter what, people can't really dull your energy, your perfectionism and being up and working harder, later, better, faster, stronger than anybody else. This is channeled, but also true for the placements, is good for you. So it's like I have a feeling that you may also have the 4037 channel, or you're doing things very differently than the family that you grew up in, Hurricane. So it also feels like, just intuitively, thank you, that you can't look to the left or to the right of you or the people that you grew up with and expect them to give you good advice. They may mean well for you, but they literally haven't had the same experiences as you do. So finding one person at a time that like has trusted. Yeah, that's so true. Just a little bit, right? Go to your human design body graph, run a free chart, and let me know if you have the 4037 channel. But it just feels like it's true anyway, of like luck always being on your side. I want to say the movie Time's on My Side. It's like the time is on my side. Yes, it is. Which is from the movie Seven is how I know it. It's not a scary song, but it's scary to me because of that movie. It's like one of the only scary movies that actually freaked me out. I forget the name of the... Miss Honey's in it from Matilda. You guys know? Hi, Julian. And honey, if you're back, let me know so I can start your reading. I don't want to keep chatting over it. Yeah, the 4037 channel. I had a feeling. That's where you can't, your family may love you. You may not talk to your family. Strange relationship with family, but like they don't have the same life experiences that you do. So I'm going to pause there for a second just to pivot over to Bree, since Bree paid for the next 10 minutes of my time, but we can still, maybe I can do some channeling for you guys. 10 o'clock is my out though, because I need my buffer time to plan before I go to bed. But Bree, so to pivot, so it feels like trusting self in my life's theme. It feels like trusting self is my life's theme in terms of lessons. I feel a little psychic, and sometimes I talk myself out of what I know to be true. In real time, yeah, front of you knowing stuff exactly. In real time, you can see how that's happening, and it's not worth it to doubt yourself, right? I just say what I feel what I say. Also makes sense for an open throat person. That's not really a question. There you go. But it is what's most prevalent for me right now. Not afraid of ever starting over and considering a new start in a new place may be intentional. Yeah, so what's interesting is that there's some Chiron aspects happening for you right now with your transits based on your birth year. And you're also getting incredibly tapped in with your incarnation cross in human design. I don't know how familiar you are with your incarnation cross, but it's the four gate intersections, the top four gates, things you inherited from your dad, things that you inherited from your mom. It's interesting because if we're talking about that from the intuitive lens too, privacy, almost feels like your dad was like, kids are to be seen, not heard. If I can psychically tune in with also a psychic reading, astrology reading, and a human design reading all in one. Yeah, like your dad was very firm, but like he was one way behind closed doors, but another way in person. Certain things he treated you guys in private that nobody else knew about in real life, like really hard on you guys, so that, oh, your granddad, okay, there you go. Yeah. And it can be like fatherly energy, right? It's interesting because when we talk about the right angle cross of 4 ways and being a Scorpio, yeah, with gate 44 as the type of Scorpio sun that you are. Oops, wrong side. It's the gate of alertness. Like your Scorpio sun gate literally sits in the most primal, or not primal, the most instinctive, instinctual, intuitive center of all of them. Gate 44 is the gate of alertness. I know I've seen this play before and I didn't like the ending, right? I'm not a Taylor Swift fan 100%, but like, it's that, like, I know one of these things is not like the other. Also your Scorpio moon, right? I'm a Scorpio moon as well. So we have that shared placement, and your Scorpio Mercury, your Scorpio stellium, your Jupiter in Sagittarius. So you're like, you ain't never gonna catch me outside. How about that? You ain't never gonna catch me. It's like that, your Sag meets your Scorpio with your human design body graph is like, you may think you know where I am, but I'm not really there. Like we post the pictures on Instagram after we've already left. I posted most of my pictures, all my pictures that you guys saw on Instagram when I was in New Orleans, that where I posted for that day, I was there the day before. Cause I'm like, I think like that. And I also, being present is a thing too. What's interesting is that the reason you're struggling, or you've struggled up until this point, I feel that extraction with you right now is that your energy centers, and when we zoom out looking at your definition versus where you're open, is that your bottom two, your root and your sacral that makes you a generator, are where we actually sense people's auras from the root center up in human design. So when we have somebody that comes into our orbit, dead or alive, right? This side, this plane or the other plane, right? Because of how open you are, literally and metaphorically. Somebody may want to talk to you, a spirit may want to talk to you, and you're like, not right now, my schedule isn't open. Like I didn't open the doors for that right now. This isn't time for that. You know that I have my scheduled time to channel, and it's now. Cultivating that, if you don't do that already, you do that in other ways in your life. I work 9 to 5. My hours are not 8 to 10 or 8 to 6, right? It's 9 to 5. That's it. That's all you get from me for this 9 to 5 job. I get my lunch break. Don't bother me. Don't bother me because I am on break, right? It's that structure. And then what happens is that you are so open. So you feel that people are asking you to jump. They are aware that you're not saying how high, but you are also sensitive to the fact that there's a need there. And so knowing that you're feeling that not only from this side, but from the other side is important to pay attention to, right? So it's like, not only I'm like, I know that somebody needs me, but like, what does somebody need me for? Is it Anna's grandmother that's sitting on the couch waiting for me to mention her? Is it Mo's dad that I was talking to last night, right? This is happening over on YouTube. I do more channeling over there. But what's going on with that? Now, a couple things I want you to pay attention to is paying attention to your schedule, because you have a gate 5 of what hats are you wearing at what time, right? Gate 5 likes a structure. You like change. When you create the change, you don't want change to happen to you. So when you structure your day and knowing that, well, your list of priorities, literally everything that I said for Dwadaki pretty much applies to you, just on the component of you being a generator and a gate 5 person, like Dwadaki and I are, because we were born a day apart the same year. Hi, Flint. I love the bald eagle emoji. I just saw a bald eagle yesterday, actually. They live around where I am. You don't have to be afraid to start over. I also feel like ancestors are a big thing for you. They're just always a big thing for my people. Also, your Virgo Mars is like too much. Like you'll always be fine. You have an undefined G center. What I was going to say is like, okay, I am wearing this hat right now. Being a method actor or actress, watching out for codependency, not putting people on a pedestal where I want to try to be like this best human design reader in the world. It's not like I'm trying to emulate that person. It's like they inspired me from a human design perspective. I'm learning the data about them, but how am I using my human design in my own way? And you could apply that to being a psychic, right? Intuitive, that feels like it would be more of the vein for you. Just because there's so much of a gift there with how open you are, especially having an undefined throat. Watching out for overuse, hyperthyroidism, thyroid issues, people making you feel like you have to be forced to talk. I feel like your Scorpio also kind of protects you from that, but it's like nature and nurture, probably with the speak when spoken to kind of thing, right? Yeah. What's also interesting, yeah, you probably have, I know, a little bit, right? Just some issues. Again, not a doctor, but what I would also recommend for you is selenium that comes from, if you're not allergic to nuts, it's the Brazil, like 2 Brazil nuts a day. Looking up things for support for adrenal fatigue. I always recommend blood work regardless, especially for generators, man-gens. Yeah, so people always know that you're a Scorpio, you have so much Scorpio. People just know that you have thoughts and they want to know, they're insecure and want to make you feel forced to talk because they know, they automatically assume, and it can be true. Like you can be having like a negative thought about somebody and they may know that you don't fuck with them like that, but you could just be like annoyed with them versus being like, this person is terrible. Hi, Jesse. Like really, you're not really going in necessarily as much, right? Unless a person really pissed you off, because Scorpio, like we don't forgive and we don't forget, really. Unless that person, the only apology we accept is change behavior, right? But paying attention to that nonetheless, right? So a couple things. As an undefined throat person, with the gate of caution there, 2 and 1, it's that gate 12 is you learning what there's a time to speak and a time to be quiet. I was talking about this with Anna's reading earlier. There's a time to work and a time to rest, right? Yeah, exactly. And that's perfect. Like that is exactly right. Like allowing yourself to, yeah, truth is only change behavior. Exactly. I just heard Manny scream upstairs at the game. Yeah, it's like you don't have to, you literally can just say, like, what's a mantra? Like, I feel like a mantra for an undefined throat person that you can throw back at somebody. So I kind of have your one-liner that makes people, like, throwing the ball back in your court. Just be like, I just don't have anything to say. Period. What, you know what I mean? Like, what? Or you could just stare at somebody if you don't want to talk, right? It's like, I feel like the monks who take vows of silence were probably undefined throat people, and then probably undefined throat people with the gate of caution, right? It's just like, and there's no, like my friends, because I also need long periods of silence too. Like I have friends, especially in college, my friend Pablo, Virgo sun, he definitely was, I would say, a Cap rising, because we definitely had like, so like our charts were so similar. I have to ask him. He's a September 18th baby. We would just sit and co-veg. We call it in our household co-veg. We sit in silence or do our own respective things simultaneously. Like we don't have to talk to enjoy being with each other, right? Yeah, be comfortable making people uncomfortable, because who's going to keep you comfortable? Exactly. So paying attention to that, right? Like when, because it's funny, you have gate 12 like Anna, gate 12 and gate 62 in your throat center. When you are with people that you actually like and fuck with, you'll talk about anything and everything. But it's like, if you just don't feel like there's a connection, like I do not want to talk, like I don't have it in me to make you comfortable. If silence makes you uncomfortable, then that's on you. That's a you problem, you know? And respectfully, what you're also doing when you set that boundary is preserving yourself, but also teaching that person, oh, when this person actually doesn't like is good on that boundary, that actually teaches other people like, wow, in conversation, maybe there's times when there's a point in time for everybody. You can be the most extroverted blabbermouth on the face of God's green earth, but like you're going to have a time when you don't want to talk, and it's going to happen at an inconvenient time, probably at work, right? So it's like you can, like real recognizes real, you know, like we can have that boundary of being like, okay, we have some, that's actually nice. I'm actually glad you said that, because I don't want to have to talk just because we're the only 2 people in the break room, right? Yeah. Let me know. Yeah, keep that throat energy when I don't need to use it. Yes, exactly. You're like this. The girl with the green necklace, or what is it? The green ribbon. I can't talk or my head will fall off and roll away. Yeah, exactly. You gotta preserve it. It needs the energy. It's alchemy. The energy needs to come from somewhere. Save it for the people that actually appreciate it. I will also say there's 12 people in the room right now, so an extra emphasis that comes from gate 12. Hi Kitty, welcome. Yeah, you're so welcome. Let me know if I think the only reason you would have a hard time trusting yourself is because you see and can validate the way that other people see things, but having time to purge and being alone will help you to identify and clear out, because your identity center is open. When are you connecting with other people versus like too much? When are you enmeshing? There's like a word for that. That's like a Marvel word or something. When are you enmeshing? Or, I was thinking of arc, because yeah, it doesn't apply. But when are you enmeshing versus when are you just channeling, and you're like, okay, I've drank that water for that person, or I've looked at their teacup. Now I'm going to hand their teacup back, right? When you do Turkish coffee ground readings, they've drank from the tea. I'm looking at the teacup. I'm holding space for them. I feel that. Now you can have that back, right? Put her in the freezer. Exactly. Put her in the freezer. Yeah. My SPV. Oh, checked me for time management while using my time to yap. Yeah, it's like you can't get both, right? Like you can't, like, we keep our sides of the street clean here. Yeah, I think a lot of what I say, and when I read for each of you individually, and again, this recording will be on YouTube. It's usually some sort of collective consciousness too. Yeah. So yours is mostly center filled, isn't. Yeah, I mean, at the bottom here, you definitely fuck with projectors more than you fuck with other generators and manifesting generators, unless those generators are just as open as you. It's just your circuitry. It just means that you're more sensitive to the outside world a little bit more. Like you can be a little bit more prone to being compromised. It's kind of like saying, like, there's power to it, right? But it's kind of like saying, well, why can't I have all 12 sun signs? Like, why can't I be born in January, February, March, April, May, June? Why can't I have all those centers defined? It's just the way that your planets are set up. Whenever I say it's just the way blah, blah, blah set up, I always think of that Kevin Hart quote where it's like, see, the way my bank account is set up. I don't know if you guys saw his like first stand-up special. The way my bank account is set up. Yeah. So it's just a matter of like how your energy is processing, where it basically gives us a good bird's eye view where you have shields of armor, definition, that protect you from outside influence. So your sacral and your root is a pressure center. I feel pressure to act. You feel pressure to act based on your energy, because it's defined, not other people's energy, unless that other people's energy is like it's a symbiotic relationship, like it's mutually beneficial. And then your sacral definition is like what gives you the energy to keep going, but when you're kind of left alone to do your own thing that you enjoy, not being more prone to OPS or other people's shit. At least when it comes to an action standpoint, people may, very Virgo placements of you to put other people to put words in your head or obsess over what people said, because your head centers are undefined, but it's not going to change what you do. And that's where we see the fixed placements coming into play. Oh, that's Scorpio rooting for you from the other side. Yeah, eat in silence when I need to chill, but definitely catch up when energized. Exactly. That's like if I get off a call and I haven't eaten and like I need to eat right away. I'm like, babe, I love you so much. I can't chat right now. And the good part is we both work from home, so it helps. Yeah, I love that. Oh yeah, the way your chart is set up. I love that. Thank you so much. I'm going to write that down and I will give you writer's credit, my projector. See, the way my chart is set up. Thank you. Co-written by Kristen. Thank you so much. But yes, it does very much so apply. Hi, user 673. Welcome back. Your cute little kitty emoji. Yeah, you're so welcome. Yeah, I think, you said it, not me. No, listen, like I say, I have a special, even my undefined, I think because my dad is hi, Chelsea. I know because my dad is a Virgo with an undefined throat center and a generator. So his chart looks very similar to yours, Brie. like, I just have a special place in my heart. Also, I was thinking today, and I kind of had this revelation in my psychic therapy mentorship session at 11 this morning, that as a Aquarius rising, like, people sleep on us because we're ruled by Saturn. So it's like our Saturn being a ruler of our ascendant, and Uranus, right, is like slow on the uptick sometimes. Right. So it's like, I appreciate my value. I know my value, but it's like, okay, like, I'm not like, you know, going to be the human design reader that hops on here, posts really great for 3 weeks in a row, and then has, you know, 500,000 followers. Like, there's something happening over here, but it's like slow and steady wins the race, which is better for all of my placements anyway. But I think that I know that that's a big overlap in how I resonate with you projectors, and making sure that you also get the recognition, because I also know what it feels like, right? And then listen, all the Scorpio where it's aspected in my chart too is also like, I'm just going to take my coattails back now. I know that you wanted to ride on them really bad, but like, I'm going to take those back. So, oh, there you go, kitties. Yeah. So I'm like, where do we, you know, hear ye, calling all projectors. Where do you guys need an invitation? And I always say, you guys, my projectors are my biggest group in Patreon, because it sucks. It sucks like knowing that you know, have the ability to see things so clearly. And then it's like, okay, but like, where's the respect and appreciation, right? Like, and that respect is just such a big thing to me too, for so many reasons, astrology and non-astrology. But yeah, so it's like, yeah, for projectors too, I'll give you guys that line. I'm going to take my coattails back. Yeah, that'll be $500. Here's, you know, $5,000 for that business idea that you made a lot of money on. You know, we're about getting compensated energetically, financially, all of the above. And it's funny because I know that people are being like, oh, don't say that people are going to sleep on you. Like, what you say manifests. And I'm like, two things are true at the same time. Like, I'm as spiritual as I am. I am also a realist in the way that, yeah, I'll take those back. Thank you. Those are mine. By the way, you're stepping on my robe. Thank you. I always say projectors do their best work in the bathrobe. Yeah, Michaela, exactly. Exactly. The 1/8 channel, the 23/43 channel, any channels really in the head, the 64/47. Yeah, a lot of those that are based on like, not connected to motor centers too. It's like, okay, I'll lead by example now. That's why I say, like, a tip that I can give all you projectors as we're winding down here is to remember that you're, my other phone, I got 2 phones. What is it? One for the plug and one for the hose. That's what, I'll have that stuck in my head now that you said that. I thought of doing that too, and I'm like, I can't be bothered. As a man gen, I'm like, I don't need 8,000 other Instagrams and anything like that. I have follow fatigue for myself. I have like 4 different Instagrams, and I'm like, fuck it. It's you guys all know my name. My first name's not going to change as far as I know, right? So that can stay the same. But for projectors, you guys have to remember that you're the talent. So yes, I've said that. We may have talked about that in a live that you were on. So I say that for actually all my non-sacrals, because you want to be in energetic alignment to be able to receive the invitation. You guys, projectors, manifestors, reflectors, don't do well with, you're not responding, right? Ring, exactly. You're not responding. So as a generator, manifesting generator, half the programs and the offerings and the things that I've created is because I was responding to a need that my people had. Right. I didn't try to, it was, you know, within niche. I'm not having somebody coming on here and telling me that, oh, you should be a doctor, right? Like, or you should perform surgery on live. I'm probably not going to do that because I don't want to wait 8 years, 10 years, 15 years of medical school to do that. Right. But it's like, I had an idea of the umbrella. I know this is cool. Why should other people give a shit? You guys know I say that a lot. But yes, in short, to answer your question, the short story long, is that you want to have energetic space to be able to hold the container for whatever you're trying to manifest. If I want new clothes in my closet and I don't take clothes out of the closet first, I'm going to be annoyed when I'm trying to put in my new clothes that I've washed and taken care of, and they're nice silk clothes or a nice silk robe, and I'm trying to jam it in with my jeans that I've had that I haven't fit in for 10 years, right? Hi, wisdom. Just thinking of it in that, like, from a practical standpoint, it's like, it's alchemy, right? There's like, okay, I'm opening it up. Yeah. Thank you. Hello. I'm opening it up. where am I making room for this? Where can I be open energetically? That's why, like, you as a projector, you guys need to be self-absorbed in whatever it is you're doing. Like an artist in their studio who knows it's important to share, but like don't put a lot in your captions, like, follow, share, subscribe, because if you just showed up and spent more time showing your skills, and then I knew that, and I could see that makes me want to invest in a projector, make it really easy for me to say yes to you and sign up to work with you some way, shape, or form, follow you on Instagram, then giving me all this amazing information, and then you burst bubble because there's nowhere for me to go, right? I have nowhere to connect with you. I'm good, yes. Super comfortable with astrology. Okay. The cheat sheet I always say is all the gates in your right-hand side, all those numbers connect to your tropical astrology placement. So gate 1, like Brie here in her Scorpio. Gate 1's always a Scorpio gate placement, so that's how I know that she's a Scorpio Mercury. I'm starting a gate series. That's what's being posted, all about gate 1. This weekend over on YouTube. So because it takes way longer than I could do it justice in a piece of TikTok content for the profile line. So 1.1, 1.2. And I talk about the intersection between human design and astrology. Okay, but how do I get them to book the live readings instead of asking a whole bunch of yes or no's? Don't talk about like what yes or no's or anything of those lines until live readings are the only option, right? I'm only here to do live readings. If no one's booking a reading with me, I'm not talking. Teach them how to treat you. Make it uncomfortable. You could be sitting there writing in your book, right? If that's what you want, you got to strong arm them a little bit. I'm not providing free labor. I'll sit here and study. I'll use this as my body doubling with you guys here, right? But like, I'm not, you know how I stop people from taking advantage of me talking and wasting my time? By stop talking. You know how yes and no with restarting the live. I would say if Mo has been on live enough too, it's like the same people are going to keep coming back, you know? Yeah, I'm like, being rude to me for free. If you're going to be rude to me, you can at least pay me, right? Then that's at least a good exchange for me to argue with you in real time. But I'm not doing it for free unless it serves me to argue with you. Mars on my ascendant. I hope you feel better. You got to pay to argue, right? 2 UFC fighters don't go into the ring unless they're getting paid. Both of them got brand deals before they went in there, right? It's like we live in a capitalist society. Like, I just won't talk. Like, if I was in a certified yapper and I didn't also enjoy being here talking to you guys, right, and being of service, which is all my Piscean and Gate 14 placements, I would just be sitting here, right? Like, I don't feel that that expressed desire to have to prove my worth on the internet, you know? So it's like I've reserved my energy for this to be a priority to me because I enjoy it and it fills me too. Yeah, exactly. I like to play cat and mouse too much though. Yeah, I feel like that's my Aquarian placements. Well, it's interesting. So our disciplines, like human design, astrology more so, because more people are comfortable arguing about their sun sign. Human design, like there's just a clear, like there's so much to learn that there's just an education value where people get afraid to argue about it. But what was I going to say? I got distracted because I was answering Shashi's question in my head. She's going to prove her point about, no, you have to restart the live. But with the Aquarian places, I was going to say, yeah, being more strict. How else do I word that? I forget what I was going to say. Yeah, I lost it. It's okay. Being a projector is like, you're the talent, right? I'm not, if Bad Bunny isn't ready to go on stage to his concert until 10 o'clock at night, we pay to be there. We love him, right? I'm not going to go leave and see somebody at some hole in the wall bar. I'm here at Madison Square Garden in my 10th row seat, right? Like I'm here, right? So projectors being like the talent is important. Mo is a person. Mo is mystical Mo, who's here. Or are you asking what's Mo's services? Because that would also be funny. Mo's actually a person. Mo, the way that question was worded, though, I could see how you would think that was an app too. Let's go live on Mo. Let's go live on Squeeb. There's like all these different random whatever it's called, streaming services and things like that too. That would be high. But yeah, and it's like, if you don't want to do yes and no's, like, why are you showing up and doing yes and no's in the first place, right? Like, I'm not solely here. Yeah, I'm here out of the kindness of my heart, but I like doing human design. No one's coming up here and telling me what to, you're Googling Mo. Yeah, there you go. A foreshadowing of the future. We'll all be Googling Mo someday. When is Mo live? When is Mo live? I'll manifest it. But yeah, it's like, I'm not here because I'm waiting for people to, I'm holding my cup out on the internet only and waiting for people to put money in it. It's like part of what I enjoy to do, and chatting with people about it and teaching people about it, so our world can be more educated instead of miserable. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Wayward. A lot of people in astrology, and for you, Mo, as well, like, a lot of people use it as an escape route for not doing the work that therapy requires. I actually had someone commented on one of my Saturn videos, and it was like, but how do you explain your quick tips to explain SA and violence and poverty and people living in poverty? And I was like, and you're learning your Saturn placement following those struggles. And I'm like, you thinking that getting on TikTok and having that take place of a doctor's appointment or an appointment with the housing association in your community, that's strike one. Like, that's step one, right? We're already trying to put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. This information is not going to serve you. You're not even going to be in a place where you can actually integrate it if you don't have shelter. So, boxing me in with the other white bitches that come on here and say that astrology, is if you just meditate and like, I'm not like that. I don't know if that has been clear at all in my personality, but I'm like, yeah, we're not in that ayahuasca pipeline, that's not what we do around here. But there's been enough of that for sure. But that's, being the change you wish to see in the world is important. And trust me, in my younger years, if I could have, I tried, right? It's like, it gives us a framework. At the end of the day, everyone just wants a fucking framework. If it's astrology, hey, Revel. If it's astrology, if it's human design, if it's religion, anything that I can do to be of service to help other people stop walking around and making their wounds other people's problem, as if other people have to solve their problem for them, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Revel. I'm screenshotting that. Thank you. Astrology is a big Las Vegas strip, I'll say, for people who try to do that, especially on TikTok. And a lot of people, for you, Wayward, for you, Mo, think that because a lot of people do and provide content for free, that they expect you to do that for free, right? Hi, Pika. But that's not your method. That's fine. I'm not going to yuck your yum. If you want to post a bunch of content for free online, that's fine, right? That's fine. But most people are not able to put it all together in one piece of information or one video in a way that's going to explain the complexity of your chart. And it's asinine to think that. Like, that's insane. Yeah. So this is Human Design, Stella. This is based on the same information as astrology. I did one, the TikToker never made a video about it. What does this chart mean? I did one. So like you did one based on what somebody said they never made a video. Yeah, I mean, if you go, I think I don't know if I have a pinned video anymore about describing the chart, but long story short, Human Design is a combination of a bunch of different methodologies. So what you're seeing in front of us looks similar to the Tree of Life in Kabbalah, however you pronounce it, like depending on regional specifics. Hindu Brahmin chakra system, all the shapes that you see are connected to the chakras, the I Ching, ancient Chinese methodology, and of course, tropical astrology. So it basically takes all of those systems and combines them into one. And so I can see from this chart what your astrology also is in Western astrology, tropical astrology, in addition to all those other aspects. And then we see how your energy flows through you most effectively. So I say it's as if you took your Myers-Briggs personality test. Thank you, Kitty. See you soon. Myers-Briggs personality test and your astrology and made it one system. Although it's not a personality test necessarily, it's a study of your aura. you're going to hear the girly pop version of it is, this is an energetic blueprint for how you operate best in the world. But I'm an Aquarius Mercury, so I have to be different. I have to word it differently from everybody else, right? I could call myself out like I see it. But yeah, so that's the short, sweet elevator pitch. Ooh, do you want to guess mine? What do you think mine is? Yeah, I started educating while I waited for a read, and now I have paying students and paid readings. Exactly. It's different from the way I do it. So it's like, you can enjoy that, but like, if I know, like, I'm not going to answer people specific questions. Like when people come in here, and very infrequently, yes, I'm an INFJ, very good. When people come in here and they just drop their birth time, or they like don't read the room, and we're like, hey, we're having a conversation, and it's like you try to kick down the door and like the floor isn't open, and you're like, here's my birth time, or they copy and paste the same comment. I get it if there were 150 people in here, like there's 15 of us, right? Like, I see you, like, wait a second, like, slow your roll. I'm in the middle of a paid reading, and, you know, I set a boundary where I'm like, listen, like, I don't bring people's charts up for free. I have respect for myself. Yeah. And the money that you guys have all paid me for priority, right? Do not interrupt me when I'm in the reading multiple times asking about yourself when we're here for this person in this moment, right? That my Aquarian anger and like, no, like, give me a second, but like the more, it's like pathological demand avoidance. The more you try to poke me to do something, like, now I'll never talk to you again. Now don't come back. I don't want you here. But no, people, like, it's interesting because you see that very rarely, for you guys who've been with me for a while, it's in my energy where like there's not, you know, I can count on one hand missing 3 fingers how many times that's happened in the last like year, right? Because it's not in my aura. The universe, I'm like, you see what I'm talking about? We don't do this over here. So yeah. And I think it's like, you know, for you, Mo, it's like, don't feel, also, I feel called to say that like getting paid for your work at this moment is the only validator. Of course it's nice, but I think like I would rather see you, because you post a lot of tarot, but I think from an educating perspective, like channeled work is good, but it needs to be quicker and like a minute or less. Because you have to remember, yeah, you want to attract projectors, but 70% of the population that you're marketing towards is generators and manifesting generators that already have a fucked attention span from birth, let alone like being conditioned by social media. So it's like, again, I'm being of service. Bye, Anna, see you. I'm being of service, but like, what is the, like, am I actually being of service of myself too? You know, like what is the thing that I want to be known for the most? And I think picking one thing, if it's going to be tarot, let it be tarot and really focus in on that versus like trying to do human design, astrology, and tarot at the same time. Because that's when projectors start to get themselves into conditioning. And the offering suite is too wide, so people don't know what to. Thank you, wisdom. See you later. People don't know what to buy from you, right? Like they get a little confused and feel like they can come for anything at any time. Yeah, I feel like I get so mean as a teacher. Why? Because I feel like you being mean is just you setting a boundary. You know, it's like, it's probably not, I guarantee you it's not as mean as it comes off. I mean, people may feel like I'm a little mean, but like I'm mean with a purpose. I'm not being mean for the sake of being rude to somebody or condescending, right? It's just a matter of like, hey, like there's rules that we play by, and this is for the good of all of us here, and for the safety, the energy, the way that I value my people, right? The way that I value money and my time and my energy. I wouldn't answer somebody that was shouting and catcalling at me at the side of the road, so I'm not going to do it in live either. This is not Times Square. This is not New York City. I'm not walking in those streets like this, right? I'm not going to answer. So, yeah, I prefer people to be truthful and seemingly mean than careful, nice. Yeah, 1,000%, especially in this work too. Like, what you see is what you get, right? Exactly. It's your channel. If they don't like it, they can leave. 1,000%. 1,000%. It's like, I'm here for what I need to be here for. Thank you, Hurricane. I appreciate you. Yeah, honestly, it's not even that I want to be paid for it. I just want to start actually helping instead of, yeah. Yeah, I'm burning out for the streets. Yeah, exactly. I'm nice until you're not, right? Yeah. I know. Of like, I just can't, it's not that I don't want to tussle, I just can't be bothered to tussle like that. Like, if you sit and shit, you start to smell. I'm not laying down with the pigs. Yeah. And I think it's like, there may be, oh, thank you. I feel like I'm just reading for all of you at this point. Everyone want to know about their partner and not themselves. And maybe that's part of your teaching. Like, a good mentor, I know what you're asking me, but I also know, because I've been doing this for a while, right? This is my 9th year. I also know that I know what people are asking for without them actually even asking that question. You know why your partner is mad at you? Because they're asking for you for bids for attention, and you keep ignoring them and not giving them hugs, right? Yeah, I've done partner readings before, and mother-daughter, father-son. I'll do a composite chart, so putting two people's charts together. Yeah. But I think that there's an opportunity there as somebody who, this is my life, right? I know that I want to help people. And if your question is about your partner, hi, Jules, I'll answer your question, but I'm going to do it through the lens of also what you need to do to be a better partner if you want your partner to be better, right? Or if it's like, okay, there's elements here that need to shift around a little bit. So, yeah, and that's fine. And it's I think people like kind of feeling more confident in breaking out more of the knowledge that you know, like self-love at a baseline, 1,000%. You're 100% right? And then going through with that. Yeah, self-love induce you and I'll get into a relationship. Yeah, when you make space to have a partner, you know? If you can be the partner, you know, we accept the love we think we deserve. I see people, and I've seen this a lot, especially women who are looking to grow in their business, this is funny because you're talking about this, they look to get into a relationship that distracts them from their work. And I'm like, what happened, right? Yeah, I know, I feel that. And it's like, if that is like core bread and butter, right? If you see that that's a lot of what people go to, hi Lena, what a lot of people go to, then that's data. That's not nothing, right? So if you see that being a consistent thing with people, yeah, exactly. I know. I'm like, are we having the same conversation? What priorities, right? Priorities. But yeah, that's data. Don't feel like you always just have to give people what they want. You also, I feel like as mentors and spiritual people, we also are in a position where we have to give people what they need, right? So I know, you know, like for Bree, I feel like Bree though, Scorpio, pretty transparent. Like, okay, we're talking about, I feel like trusting myself is my life's theme. Yes. Right? So, oh, there you go. Perfect. Thank you, Alina. Trusting myself is your life's theme, but here's where it actually comes from. So it's not that you actually doubt yourself, right? It's that it's because of X, Y, and Z, right? So that's an example that happened in real time. Theme and lessons, exactly. Things happening in threes. So it's like reading through that lens is like, I am not here to give you a reading to enable you, right? Because that's the type of reader that I like to be. Now, there are people that come up here multiple times a day and they're going to tell you what you want to hear and they're going to take your money. And there's people who make fast money doing that, right? I can tell you what you want to hear, but that's not what I want. That's not what I believe in my business being built on. I don't care about making you feel good only. I want you to feel good, but feeling good if I'm doing you a service versus a disservice is telling you what's important. And then I also have grace where there's some people who you've seen it varied in my readings for those of you guys who are here often or every Thursday. Like I was like hard on Kaylin that was here and I was like, oh, this place ghosted you about a place that you need to call for a roof for you and your child. No, they didn't ghost you. You didn't bother them enough, right? Like that's a different type of reading than somebody who's like, I'm really burnt out. Like I am like trying to figure out like, what are we doing here? Like, what is my purpose? Like we know with our placements, especially for Mo and I with our Aquarius, like how to pour into what the person needs. And that's just good business advice for all of you who want to be readers, right? Or just some type of person who wants to be of service to other people. It's like, what is the person, thank you. Like, what does the person really want in front of me, right? And I'd rather have 13 good people in here than 130 people that don't really give a fuck, that only want to talk about astrology and want to just, I'm going to tell them that, you probably, based on electional astrology, you'll probably meet them around there. Well, yeah, based on electional astrology, I could become the president of the United States tomorrow, but I'm not in politics. No, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not becoming president. So I could, but I don't want to. I think most people don't understand that about service industry. Yeah, it's why, like, hey, forever, everyone should work in hospitality. How many people here have worked in the restaurant industry in a customer facing position and then their pipeline of spiritual service is here, right? We see that a lot. Yeah, you're going to attract the right ones. Exactly. I feel like I need to help guide people through their darkest times, and not everyone is ready. Exactly. Hi, Julia. Exactly. Not everyone is ready. And that's true. And I think it's knowing, like, I just know, because of who I am as a person, my gifts, and part of my gifts in this world is like the bandwidth that the person has. I know where you want to go. I'm not going to discourage you by telling you how much work we have to do, right? Exactly, Julia, Michaela, exactly. Me. But there's still work that can be done if somebody's open. Yeah, there you go. Are you a projector, Julia? Yeah. Wait, hold on. Yeah. This is a couple other. There's just a bunch that I came to. Oh, manifester. I love that. Oh, filled in. Yeah, that was from way earlier. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like people always tell me when it's time to hear their mother wounds, and I feel mother wounds, and I feel a little crazy. No, it's not crazy at all. I think there's always going to be red threads. Like, I see that I get people who have the same type of problem that they come to me to help solve or strategize a solution to, in like 3 readings, 5 readings, like one-on-ones versus people who need like a quickie half hour or a live. It definitely, there's patterns there for sure. Yeah, so what Frequency said, so I hear, keep it simple, give the value, and go back into the cave and create. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I know what I'm here for. And I think that's getting really clear on what your goals are and what your priorities are at this time period of your life, right? I think that's a very important exercise in your 20s to also create, like for you, Mo, because you're riffing off of your question. Times I wish I'd done it sooner, right? What for my 21st year, what is my goal this year? Like, what was my priority? What are my top 3 priorities? And so that will shift everything else into place. What aspect of my business do I want to grow this year? There's a reason that our world pushes multitasking and says that it's so possible that we're able to multitask. And it's because it's not really true. Even for manifesting generators, there's a lot of ways that people have inserted manifesting generators. I'm multi-hyphenate, I'm multi-passionate, but I can't cook, take a shower, and film a podcast at the same time. It sounds funny when we say it like that, right? It doesn't sound funny when we say, okay, but I'm on the phone as I'm writing an email, trying to do 3 things at one time. It's we all are going to do many things throughout our lifetime, but and I'll answer that in a second. Frequency. Many things throughout our lifetime, it's a fallacy to try to do them all at one time, because you outsmart yourself of lessons that you are supposed to learn in the present moment. And that just can be when you focus on just like being quiet and focusing on 2 main projects in one day, or 1 main project for 3 months. Right. And that's up to, it's so individualized that I can't give like in one-on-one sessions, I'll give the outline, but it's like, you best at the end of the day. And that's where it's good to put the power back to the people. Did people always get insight when talking to you, even as a kid? Yes. And what I always say in relation to that is I was literally like, hi, Layla. I was literally like 12, not 11, but like 12. And I would be on Yahoo Answers. And I would be like the answering everyone's question. I didn't care if you were 40 years old going through a divorce, high cosmic fairy love. I didn't care if you were 80. I didn't care if you were 8. I was like, I was on the chase for the high of like making sure that I could give that person the best answer possible. Like, that's how I spent my free time. You see how that theme translates into everything that's happening right now, right? So it's like, I literally was like that. And then what I also loved is polyvore, which is basically like what the equivalent of like a slideshow is of like, I love Studio Inez. She's from Puerto Rico. If you guys look her up, INES, Studio Inez, 2 words. And she does like slideshows of like what I would wear to a Bad Bunny concert, what I would wear to as the office siren. Like, I would put those things together, and it was a website called Polyvore. And that was fun for me. And I'd be like, oh my God, I love when people save my pins, that kind of thing. That's so tracks. You always been wise as fuck. Yeah, I feel like I've always been 400 years old. Cause I'm just I don't know. I just like, I've walked around a lot when I was younger being like, how do you not know that? And like, how is that not obvious? Like, I don't understand. Like, I didn't feel like it was, as special as it is, or like, cause it also, it got, you know, it's the albatross and the blessing at the same time. So it's like figuring out how to manage that. Work in progress sometimes still to this day, but people don't catch me as much as they used to. I'm not bringing up people's human design body graphs and astrology. The Aquarius, yes. Their natal charts at a bar, or like, just because I literally was in a workshop where I was building doing like a manifestation one workshop that my friend Andrea was hosting. And the girl next to me was like, oh, Andrea told me that like you love astrology. And she was like, you can bring up my chart if you want. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, this is just a day. And I appreciate you, being open to that. But this is a time and a day for me just to like invest back into myself, because I read charts, for people throughout the week. And she was like, oh, well, I just bring up charts for anybody at any time. And I was like, well, yeah, because you don't do it for work all day. Like, it's not your job. So it's like, I have to have boundaries so that the people who pay me get that energy. And, it could sound a little tight and it could sound a little aggressive, but at the end of the day, like, it's the truth. It's just what's happening. So, and that's valid for you. If you want to bring people's charts up to a bar, at a workshop, right? That's on you too. But like, I don't feel the need to do that. If I was practicing, right, and I needed more people to practice on, and I was doing like 100 readings before I wanted to figure out how I wanted to read people, that's different. Yeah, and it's just like, maybe like I just don't want to talk to you. No, she was nice. She was very sweet. But I'm like, she was a lot at the same time. So, yeah, and listen, if a Pisces can have boundaries, so can you, right? Like, please, don't sleep on yourself. Yeah, you're so right. It's my red thread. Like, everything I want to create is mother wound healing and self-love. Yeah, and thinking of that, like, if you know that to be true and you kind of have that as your like undercurrent, it's like getting back to that being the theme of like the nugget that they come to you for as a projector woman. Like, it's your red thread, right? I always, for myself, people are always going through some sort of identity crisis, major transformation, leaving corporate, doing entrepreneurship, a major identity shift, and leaving one identity, leaving one relationship. I'm like the emotional, physical, tangible fairy woman from one side to another, or they want an education from me in some way, shape, or form. So I always know that that's a red thread. Yeah, the word boundaries having Aries in it. Yeah, I love that. So true. Yes, that's so true. I never realized that. That's so cool. Wait, you have to please elaborate on that in like a piece of content, because I've never heard anyone say that before. Yeah, long hours as a single mom and work on my own business. Yeah, it's not easy when people, and this is long hours as a single mom and work on my own business. Yeah, it's not easy when people, and this is what always bothered me, is that when people are like, it takes so much hard work. It's so much hard work. And I'm like, what the fuck is the hard work? Like, I'm 12. I want to understand. I know that work can be hard, but like, help educate me. I'm 18. What does the hard work mean? I'm 25. When is the hard? Because for me, like, staying up late hours, prioritizing what I wanted to prioritize, setting boundaries, that's challenging. I don't know if I would say that was hard. Hard for me was more so like, I'm trying to pick up this 500-pound piece of furniture or pick up 500 pounds when I haven't done 50-pound reps. That's hard, right? Oh, I love that. Yes, there you go. That's helpful. You and DeAnna can chat about that too, because you're both in Projector Patreon in the chat. but yeah, it's like, okay, what does hard actually mean? And hard is when you're a single mom and you're working long hours and you don't know why. Oh, I love that. Yeah, there you go. That's so funny, Michaela. We're Psychic Friends Network right now. Psychic Friends Network. You know, you're a single mom, you're like, Shashi, you're working your day job, but you don't know why, and it doesn't make any fucking rational sense, but you're like, I'm gonna start a business too. And you're like, okay, the hard is finding 30 minutes of whatever peace and quiet looks like for you as a single mom, and then finding a way to fight for yourself in those 30 minutes. You know, you have 30 minutes. You know, I have 30 minutes. Like, that's the real hard, right? It's like, okay, I'm not going to go out on a Friday night and I'm going to say no to these dinner plans because I want to be on TikTok live with my people, right? It's figuring out how you find those challenges in boundaries. I think a lot of times boundaries are the hard, that exact definition that people are looking for. It's like, hard is so relative. Yeah, listen, I'm right there with you. Like, it's so normal. It's so normal to have, and losing the plot, I'm like, I'll lose the plot for a moment, but then I'm like, okay, it's time to rise up again. I'm done crying. Here I am. Yeah, that makes sense. It probably has to do with your 11th house aspects. But yeah, people being online for sure. I came upstairs early because my generator was going in overtime tonight. Single mom is a job. Oh, 1,000%. You're working full-time as a single mom at 2 full-time jobs and then wanting a 3rd job, right? Yeah. And listen, impatience is totally normal, especially now where it's like, then this is the issue, because our world has taught us that we can get things like that, right? When I don't answer people in a comment right away, I lose them, right? Like, if she doesn't answer me right now, and I'm not going to follow, you know, like it's that some people are like that. Most people aren't like that. But you know, everything I have to pump. Oh, this video is going viral. I better make another video right away. And there's just something that somebody else said that I'll paraphrase. And it's like, if it's your life's work, then why are you rushing it? You're maintaining it. You're working on something that you want to build a foundation. I don't want to build a straw hut and have that be my house forever. Because we know that bad weather happens, right? And so I'm not going to build it if it doesn't have good legs. And that's where it's the consistency that's hard. It's the discipline that comes with consistency that's hard. It's not like the work itself it's energetically and mentally hard, but it's not actually something that you can't physically do, right? It's like setting up your website. It's posting an Instagram post when you're tired, right? And it's better to, if the thing that's stopping you is the time that you're posting because you're working late, that's a made up thing, right? You know why I'm on TikTok live late at night? Not because more people are on TikTok live late at night. It's because I'm a night owl and I like to be up late at night. You're not going to catch me here at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's not going to happen, right? So it plays into everything that Mo said. So thank you for saying that. I'm going to wind down for the evening. I know, and true, I felt like it was important. All of this whole live is going to be posted to YouTube for my fellow night owl crew or people in the morning. I think so. And also my son is in the 2nd house, which is below the horizon line. And I was born at 5:04 in the morning. So you can see how that plays out. It's like I was born up, my mom was up all night. She didn't like wake up to have me. She was up all night. But I will be back on, what did we say my schedule was? Let me look back because we're shifting for next week a little bit just because my schedule got a little bit different. TikTok live, 7:30 p.m., Friday the 18th. And then Wednesday, I will not be on YouTube. I will be on YouTube on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I may hop on a little earlier. I'll see what I do on Saturday. But that is for sure going to happen. So that way you guys know. Thank you guys so much. It was just such a fun conversation. I had so much fun chatting with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. And yeah, I'll post a YouTube video this week all about gate 1 and a deep dive on that if that's your jam and you want to go deeper. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Friday, Venus Day tomorrow. Do something for you in the essence of self-love. And I will see you guys later. Have a good night.